The scene is set, ready for the final race of 2023 in the NTT IndyCar Series. We've already crowned a champion, that being Alex Palou 7 days ago at the Grand Prix of Portland. Now we are at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, for the Grand Prix of Monterey. One final time in a season-ending slot before it's due to move to a June slot in 2024. Good evening, everybody. Apologies, first of all, for not bringing you MotoGP live on YouTube earlier on. Dorna issued a block. It aired live on Twitch and immediately after as well on YouTube. IndyCar unaffected, though, for its season finale. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joshua Birch, joined tonight, as always, by Adam Limerick. Adam, welcome once again to the show. All set then for one more go around, and we've got a very interesting grid lining up as well, because it's Felix Rosenqvist, pole position. The last time he turns a wheel in a McLaren, he takes it up front row.
That's right, Josh. Hello, everyone. What a way to wrap up this incredible 2023 NTT IndyCar Series season here at historic Laguna Seca Raceway in Monterey, California. We've seen some legendary races over the years, and one race that comes to mind is 1996, when Alex Zanardi made a last slap pass in the corkscrew to get around Brian Herta. Now, Colton Herta, his son, races that iconic scheme. His father won race here at Laguna Seca. So, can Colton Herta win in that scheme today? Well, Josh, we are about to find out.
It's going to be a very interesting race. Colton has won here before, of course, as the cars make their way into pit lane, getting set. This is what's been happening so far through the weekend. Romain Grosjean having a spin in practice, touching the barrier as well. Venus Vique and Scott McLaughlin also making it off-roads as well. Agustin Canapino having issues on the circuit. It's been nothing but problems, and Adam, I think, Will Power, the one who suffered the most, in the gravel 3 times alone. Once at the corkscrew, once in the wall, and once down at turn 6 as well. He's having a horrible start to the weekend, and it looks like it could be, again, another push forward going in for the race in about 50 minutes' time.
Yeah, Josh, and if you would have said to us that Will Power would not have won a race so far yet this year, I don't know what to say. Shocking that Will Power has not been to victory lane this year after his legendary career that he's had, But let's talk about the NTT IndyCar Series champion, Alex Palou. What a year he's had. He's taken 5 wins this year, including last time out at the BitNile.com Grand Prix of Portland. And I think, Josh, we can say this season will go down as one the fans will remember for a long, long time to come.
Well, on the run, didn't he? 3 in a row, nearly had it 4 in a row, got the title, 5 victories. Can he make it 6, of course? Got a tough challenge today. He crashed, actually, on Thursday in the pre-race test as well that they had. But he is A-OK, and he is our 2023 IndyCar champion. It's not just going to be me and Adam, because we're going to have a word now with our champion. He's down in the grid with NBC.
Himself.
Oh, hello. How are we doing?
Hey, listen, it's not us just saying it, it's your peers saying it. You have been in a league and a class of your own this year. Have you surprised even yourself with your performance?
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't feel like that when we're inside the car and when we're driving and having those issues with pit stops and just not having the pace, but it's been an amazing year. Just all the results we had, 5 wins, and hopefully we can get another one today.
Alex, you were very talented when you first showed up in IndyCar, but now you're several years in, you won the 2 championships. Tell us where you think you've improved the most. What's one thing that you've really improved on since coming in as a rookie?
I would say everything, man. Honestly, I've been super lucky to share teams with Scott Dixon. you can learn everything about this guy. Just mental, how he prepares the races, how he saves fuel or even makes fuel during the races, as we saw this year again. But honestly, I would say in general, I just feel a lot better with the car, but also how to handle the races. It's really tough. So learn a lot about him.
You know, it's funny, we were watching this clip of you. I saw the smile on your face as we're reliving all these highlights from the season. Now you come here, you clinched it last week out in Portland. Do you come to Laguna a little bit freer? Do you approach the weekend any different? Are you less stressed, more relaxed?
Well, a bit more relaxed, obviously. I don't need to worry about points and all that stuff, which it's always a bit nerve-wracking, especially at the starts. But still, it's a race, man, and we want to win it. We know we have a car that is capable and a team that is capable, and everybody wants us to win. I mean, in the team, everybody's pushing, so there's still that pressure to win the race.
Your race car looks amazing this weekend with the chrome livery, but you proudly are an ambassador for the American Legion. This goes, I want to share a story with the viewers at home. This goes well beyond a sponsorship or a partnership, doesn't it? Particularly this year at St. Petersburg at the season opener.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm super proud and privileged to be racing for a cause, especially outside the track with the American Legion and the Beta One campaign. Actually, at St. Pete, we had a veteran that came to the American Legion mobile, and he asked for help, and he's now surrounded by all the American Legion folks. We saved that life, and I think that we're raising the awareness of the issue, and it all starts by just asking our veterans if they need help, and you never know, so you can be the one to save a veteran life today. So if anybody wants some information how to do it and how the American Legion works, they have the beta1.org, and they have all the information there.
And your team boss Chip Ganassi said in 30 plus years of being in the sport and helping companies sell and promote lots of products, it doesn't even compare to the life that was saved at St. Pete. All the best today. You might defend that win. You're already the champ. Your name's already going on here twice. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
There he is, Alex Palou. He is, of course, the lead story this weekend, but there's plenty of others as well if you've just joined us, because Alex is a winner. Yes, he's one of those 7-time winners, but that means there's 20 non-winners. And yes, that's what they're racing for today, like teammates Pato O'Ward, Alexander Rossi. They would not like to finish this season without a win. Colton Herta would dearly like to be a 3-time winner here, and Will Power is trying to keep an amazing streak of consecutive seasons with at least one win. What about Felix Rosenqvist? He rocked the field yesterday by getting the NTT P1 pole position, but he has a tough customer on the outside in Team Penske's Scott McLaughlin. Let's talk more about Scotty Mack. He's with Dylan Welsh.
And it's his best start here at Laguna, an 8th front row start this year. So you guys have had top 10s every single race since the Indianapolis 500. No wins in that stretch, but what does it say about the strength of this team right now at the end of the year?
Yeah, I was super proud of the Thirsty Threes, XPEL Chevy. It's you know, it's been up and down. Yeah, eight front rows out of 17 races this year, but we only got one win, so that's the bad stat. But super proud of how we've performed. I think we've taken it up a notch. It's just Alex and Scott Dixon and other people have taken up another level. So you just got to keep rising to the occasion. But super excited. I think we can really have a good chance today. It's just a matter of me doing my job and the team doing theirs.
You've said this year that you want to be the top Penske car. There's a little bit of ground to make up 21 points to Joseph. Is that an achievable accomplishment today?
The best thing I can do is win. So, you know, it is, but at the same time, we want to be the top Chevy team as well from a team perspective. But, yeah, look, absolutely, I'd love to beat my teammates, but that's just, you know, we're competitors. We push hard. We push each other hard. And it gets tense at times, but we have such a good respect for each other, and we just know how good each other is. So if you can beat them, that's a good thing.
Thirsty Threes have been on a roll lately. They're going to look for some validation of those results with a win today for Scott McLaughlin. He starts second. Kevin.
Dylan, Felix Rosenqvist will start his final race with Arrow McLaren from pole today before moving on to Meyer Shank Racing next season. And coming off a second at Portland, what is the thought process coming into this last go-around with this team you spent 3 years with?
Oh, I think it's a good feeling. It was fun getting that podium last weekend in Portland. Amazing race, amazing effort from everyone at the 6th car in Arrow McLaren, and coming here and just following it up with a pole is. Yeah, I feel like we're all relaxed. We're all having fun. We're all, you know, even if we're leaving next year, there's good feelings, you know, between us. There's no, you know, hard feelings or no, you know, shenanigans going on. It's just, you know, some things end, and you have to deal with that and be an adult about it. And I think that's what we've done from both sides. And we just said, you know, hey, let's have fun here the last couple of races. I think it's in everyone's interest to just finish this off as good as we can. And yeah, we've been rolling, man. I hope we can just continue for a couple of more laps here and this year and finish it off well.
Felix Rosenqvist has had it rolling lately. It's clicking. He's driving free, and Lee, he is going to start from the front today.
Going to be very good then to see how he starts up. We're about to get ready for the driver introductions. Myself and Adam sit up in the commentary box. I've finally been reunited with my in-ears finally, which means I can actually hear what's going on. But we're getting ready in a second, Adam. So who do you think is going to be our surprise winner today? Because it's a track that does throw up unusuals. Are we going to see Felix Rosenqvist lead from the front like Colton Herta has done in the past and take the race win? It's his last ever drive for Aaron McLaren before he leaves the team. It's a crucial time for him to say to other teams, look, I'm here, I'm ready, I can go for it. Is he capable of winning?
He's capable of winning today, Josh. I've actually gone with Colton Herta. He hasn't won this year. I've talked about his dad running here, against Alex Zanardi in that last lap pass back in 1996 at the Corkscrew. Colton is running an iconic scheme that his dad ran here, so I've got to go Colton Herta. And my other surprise would be Felix Rosenqvist. Well, I mentioned it's his last drive, from McLaren. So I think those two are two drivers you got to look out for. Another one, obviously, Will Power. We've mentioned he hasn't won yet this year. You know how hungry he is, to get the first win of the year. There's so many storylines going here into the season finale. We don't know where drivers like Romain Grosjean are going to go next year. Everyone wants to leave here on good terms going into 2024. So it's going to be interesting to see who can claim the last checkered flag of this iconic IndyCar Series season.
And speaking of driver lineups for next year, one man who's got them all under the bag is Zach Brown. He's down right now with Marty Schneider.
I think we've had a few races that we could have ended up on the top step of the podium, about 3 or 4. But, hey, that's racing, and that's what everyone says. Of course, you got to close the deal. Hopefully we can close the deal today with one of our 3 cars. We're starting in pretty good shape with Felix here.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Still looking for that first win of 2023. So let's talk about the off-track stuff. You had Alex Palou sign. He was coming to McLaren in 2024. Now he's staying at Ganassi. Did that catch you off guard, his decision, and did it put you guys as an organization behind a little bit in a bit of a box?
Well, I think anytime you have a signed contract with someone, you're expecting them to honor that. Obviously, he's chosen not to, but we're a big organization. Fortunately, a lot of people would like to drive for us, so we want people that want to be in our racing team. We've got a great driver lineup in Alex and Pato, and then of course, very excited to have David Malukas join us. So we'll be fine.
So you have a very unique perspective. Obviously, you see F1 every week. Well, how would you describe the health of IndyCar right now as you look at it from a global perspective?
It's very strong. The competition is unbelievable. You never quite know who's going to win each weekend, which is a great place for any racing series to be. The car count is very strong. Great new races like Nashville. I think we might have something coming back on the schedule for next year. I think to have Roger Penske owning the series and the league, you couldn't have someone who's more passionate about motorsports than Roger Penske. So that being said, I think there's a lot of room for opportunity, for continued growth, and that's something that we want to play our part and contribute to that growth.
Well, Diff, it's always good to have Zach Brown hanging out at the racetrack with us. And if the race is in California, Zach's going to be here. He's a California guy at heart.
He really is a California guy, and certainly going to be one to watch throughout the entirety of the race. The McLaren 2024 drivers, Pato O'Ward, David Malukas, and Alexander Rossi. And I do think as well, Adam, that it's a bit brave to drop Rosenqvist for Malukas. Obviously, I think Malukas was very much a last-minute deal because they wanted to get in there with Alex Palou. He said, no, I'm not going to drive here. So why not stay with Rosenqvist? Why go for Malukas? What does he offer compared to what Rosenqvist can do? What's the difference?
Well, I'm surprised. Felix Rosenqvist would have been perfect at McLaren. He has loads of experience in other forms of motorsports. David Malukas is a young driver, and he's done really good this year. So going over to McLaren in 2024, I could see good things happening with him. I could see him getting some top 5s, top 10s, maybe sneaking in a win or two. But it's going to be interesting to see where Felix Rosenqvist goes next year. So many teams, out there that don't have driver confirmations yet. So I think the first domino to fall will be wherever Romain Grosjean races next year. I think that'll set the dominoes going.
Let's check in then with Sky Sports F1 commentator Tom Gaynmore about everything as the driver introductions start to get underway. Tom.
Laguna Seca, and there is something special about this place. It's one all the drivers want to have on their CV. And if qualifying's anything to go by yesterday, the race really will be something to watch and marvel over. Felix Rosenqvist, he hasn't won in 60 races. His second pole position of the year, ahead of Scotty Mack, who was disappointed to miss out, of course. And if you look at the stats, the average starting position for the winners, 2.8, so starting at the front, really, really important. Christian Lundgaard, though, arguably the quickest in qualifying. He made a bit of a Horlicks of his qualifying lap. He heads off the second row ahead of Joseph Newgarden. 2 Penske's in the top 4. They're the most winning team, if you like, around this circuit. But watch out for Alex Palou. He's off of grid spot 5. That was Scott Dixon, his teammate, but Scott Dixon has taken an engine change after warm-up, so he's dropped down to 11th. But Palou won here last year, or 2021, I think, from 11th. So he's always one to watch, locked in as the champion. So is Scott Dixon in the runners-up spot, but it's all to play for the other championship positions, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So keep a keen eye out on your favorite drivers.
Do you know that you can help fight hunger? Yes, race fans, you can join Hy-Vee and help reach their goal of 100 million meals during the 100 Million Meals Challenge. Scan the QR code or donate. Check out Hy-Vee.com. By the way, talking about cool things.
Right, let's hand it to NBC.
Look at this, the Corvette giveaway. It's been one of 4 this year. And this man here, Steve Warden from Omaha, Nebraska, getting his Corvette with thanks to Hy-Vee. Yes, here at the Firestone Grand Prix. And thank you. That's the 4th and final one. That has been a fantastic promotion this year. Look at the day we have here today for the championship finale. Alex Palou may have already put the title beyond reach, but we are going to have quite the party here in California. And this is the last day that you'll see certain drivers in certain liveries and color schemes and teams. Last year's Indy 500 winner Marcus Ericsson ends his tenure at Chip Ganassi Racing. He is off to Andretti. Linus Lundqvist will slide into Chip Ganassi Racing, the young Swede. And speaking about young drivers from New Zealand, Marcus Armstrong will drive the entire season next year. That's Road Street and Ovals next year. With more on the driver movement, let's join Kevin Lee. Kev?
Yeah, we want to continue to just talk about, summarize seasons for teams. So we saw Marcus Ericsson, so that now becomes part of the Andretti situation. Certainly it's gone great for Chip Ganassi Racing, but he's moving on and he's sort of replacing the driver of the number 28 DHL car. We don't know what the branding will be like. We don't know what the car number will be, but Romain Grosjean is moving on next year. So let's talk Andretti and how their season went this season, and I would say it's been mixed. They've been fast at times, including Kyle Kirkwood in his 2nd year in the series. The young Floridian has broken through with 2 wins, so I think he feels pretty good about the way this season has gone. Knows there could be a little bit more available, but he's on the brink and making good progress. And then there's Colton Herta, who has been fast, a couple of poles, but this right now is the first time he's not won an IndyCar. He's only got a best finish of 3rd this season, so Colton desperately wants to get something done today. Andretti Autosport, good season. They want better next season. Now to Marty Snyder.
Kevin, let's talk about Junco's Hollinger Racing. And for Augustine Canapino, very impressive rookie campaign for him. Looks like he'll come up just short in the Rookie of the Year honors. But also his teammate, Callum Eilot. I spent some time with Callum earlier this weekend. And Callum told me if he could use one word to describe the season, it would be optimistic. He said, hey, listen, I know we've put together some decent finishes, like 5th at St. Pete earlier this year to start off the season. Our biggest thing, and the reason I say optimism, is that we've only put together pieces of weekends. If next year we can put together more whole weekends, that's what we need to do. Callum told me earlier this week he does expect to be back in this 77 car next year. Talked to the team owner, Ricardo Juncos, yesterday. He said, I have not officially signed my drivers, but I hope to do that here in the next couple of weeks, Dylan.
Marty, it's the end of an era today, the end of the full-time IndyCar career for Helio Castroneves. So you're not retiring. We'll still get to see you at the Indianapolis 500 for, I guess, as long as you want to drive, now that you're a part owner of this team. But have you been able to take some time this weekend to kind of just reflect on your career and some important moments to you?
I'll be honest, not really. You're so focused in what you're doing day by day, and of course, the job is still haven't not done yet. So, but interesting, yeah, not the start, not the way you want to do it. But I was looking and start thinking last night. It's sort of like the perspective what's going to happen from now on. I started in the back, have so many opportunities to pass people, which I think is going to be in life as well. So many opportunities to do so many other things. Don't need to look back, just look forward. And I can't wait. To be honest, I'm so thankful for so many people, obviously from the beginning of my career to now. And yeah, it will be a lot of fun.
What are you looking forward to most about this next step in life for you?
You know, obviously I've been doing this for so many years that I learned so much in the sport. And I feel that giving it back, you know, I'm going to wear a lot of different hats, including as a team owner, but also coaching or helping the drivers continue representing great partners that we have today. So all of this will be a great challenge in our head as well, and still be here because this is my life. This is part of what I want to. And it's still racing some other series. So SRX is one of them, and hopefully whatever is going to happen next, we'll just wait and see.
We'll still get to see him a lot around the IndyCar paddock. He's got one more drive as a full-time driver in the 06 this afternoon at Laguna for Helio Castroneves.
And Dylan, the sport is richer for having the 47-year-old Brazilian in it for more than 2 decades. And fellas, there are, and this is an exaggeration, there are tens of thousands of people that have shaken hands with that guy, that have met them, and have seen that endless energy up close. And today there'll be a little bit bittersweet as we say farewell to him on a full-time basis, but Helio will still be around. But let's talk about something a little more serious, and that is his team that he's going to be the co-owner of. It has been a pretty rough year this year as far as results, so they need a big one next year.
It's been a really topsy-turvy year for Meyer Shank Racing, and they are making huge changes for next year. They're on a mission. In fact, they're on a quest. They've got Felix Rosenquist coming. They've got Tom Blomqvist coming. And they are on this mission to improve performance, and they're leaving no stone unturned. And, you know, horrible situation with Simon Pagenaud's accident. Still wishing him the very best with his recovery. But the team needs to figure out what it's going to take to get themselves in contention week in and week out, simply for top 10s. Not even top 5s or podiums at this point. They need to be in the top 10 conversation.
Hinch, when you think about it, I mean, Meyer Shank Racing has won the Indianapolis 500. They've won the podiums in IndyCar competition. They've won Rolex 24s multiple times in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Does this speak to the competitiveness of this series right now? A team as good as that can still struggle?
Absolutely. You cannot just walk into this series and expect to be competitive no matter what you've accomplished in other series. And it even shows year to year. Yes, won the Indy 500 a few years back, but that doesn't mean anything today in Laguna Seca. So it's a tough situation for them right now.
All right, let's talk about some other teams. How about Andretti Autosport? A couple of wins with Kyle Kirkwood, but other than that, they're still searching, and in particular, Colton Herta. It could be his day today. What do you foresee for today and the future with Andretti?
Well, listen, 2 of the most exciting drivers in this series, Colton Herta and Kyle Kirkwood, young Americans that are race winners in IndyCar. It's actually been Herta's teammate, Kyle Kirkwood, with 2 wins on the season on street circuits, and so Kyle Kirkwood's one to watch coming through the field. He was super disappointed to get blocked in qualifying. You see the results this year, those 5 poles, 2 wins only from Kirkwood. Colton Herta is somebody that I think is desperate to do what he's done here before and make this his 3rd win today.
Yeah, there's a big push over the offseason at Andretti to try and improve performance all around. They're no doubt the best cars on street circuits at the moment, but there's still time to be found on the ovals. road course performance up and down. There's still progress to be made, but it's a very motivated group.
And if you think that car looks somewhat familiar, kind of like Colton Herter's dad Brian's car, yes, it does. We'll tell you that story a little bit later. But Townsend mentioned Simon Pagenaud, the Indy 500 winner and series champion. I want to remind you, it was about 10 weeks ago at the beginning of July, Pagenaud experienced this frightening accident at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, and he has not been in a car since. Simon,
no, he's not. Delayed concussion.
Throngs of fans all over the world are supporting you in your recovery.
And he said this: I'd like to wish MSR all the best and thank Mike Shank, Jim Mayer and the whole team for their valuable experiences I've gathered through the last 2 years. I wish we could have achieved more together over the last 2 seasons and win more races. Love Simon Pagenaud. I think Adam as well coming back up with us too in the box now. Not the NBC team for a little bit as we prepare for the build-up. Just to touch on Simon Pagenaud, we kind of knew he was going to be out for the season, didn't we? It was such a hit. He suffered in practice too at Mid-Ohio. He was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and Simon Pagenaud is one driver that is truly loved on the IndyCar grid. So much passion for what he does in motorsports, and sad to say that he's not on the grid this year. Since Mid-Ohio, we hope he recovers fully so he can be back in a race car sometime next year. Looking at Simon Pagenaud's accident, it took me back to when Michael Andretti had a similar accident at Mid-Ohio, and just wishing Simon Pagenaud all the best going forward, and hopefully a very speedy recovery. And what he's doing, Josh, is the right thing to do.
100%. It's the right thing to do as well. Safety first and medical help, of course, always comes first. We wish Simon Pagenaud the speediest recoveries, and hopefully we'll be on the IndyCar grid next season, of course, because this is the last race. It ends here on the 10th of September, and we have got around about 5.5 months until we next go racing as well at the beginning of March. So there's a long time for things to change around. We don't even know next year's schedule. All we do know is that Laguna Seca is moving around. We know that we're going to have $1 million race as well at the Fairmont Club, and also we know we are going to have the Indianapolis 500. That is a certainty. But other than that, no dates yet have been confirmed as to where we're going to be. So pretty much stay tuned to the Grid Network for that, of course, over the next few months.
Yes.
And Adam, I suppose the one thing we've got to think about as well, looking over the fantastic valleys we've got here in the middle of the desert and everything, the championship being decided, the Astor Cup all done and dusted. It's been, of course, here before. New Garland's had it last year. This year it's gone back to Alex Palou. They've been toing and throwing for the past couple of years. Power had it, of course. But it's a difficult championship to win. Palou has sort of took hold of it this year. So I'm wondering, when are we next going to see a championship battle? Could it be next year? Or is Palou's dominance with Chip Ganassi locked in for a couple more seasons?
I think next year we're going to see a champion. To me, I think next year we're going to see a championship battle. There's so many good, talented drivers that out there. We know about Scott McLaughlin, what he's accomplished down under in Australia in supercars. We know about Will Power, Scott Dixon. So I think next year, we will see a championship battle. And next year's season finale is going to take place on the streets of Nashville, Tennessee. So to wrap up the series, in a beautiful city like Nashville, Tennessee, it's gonna be a quite good championship next year, and I think we will see a championship battle. I don't think Alex Palou, I think next year's championship will be won on Championship Sunday and not a couple races before, like we saw this year with Alex Palou wrapping it up last time out in Portland.
We went 18 seasons of having the title decided on the last day. This year, when we finally get to the 19th, it stopped, of course. It's the first time since 2005 and Dan Weldon to win the title before the final race of the season. And that all went down as well for Alex Palou. The driver introduction is going on right now and officially being presented with the P1 trophy for Felix Rosenqvist. We've got around about 26 minutes until the green flag is flown. So the national anthem and drivers the driver's instructions done, the invocations coming up, the national anthem, drivers start your engines, all that for one final time. Looks like Felix Rosenqvist is going for a quick comfort break in one of the portaloos at the side of the circuit. The heat is immense here. Me and you have both gone for Hawaiian shirt themes today to try and deal with it, because it's been hot in the UK. I know it's hot over there in the States where you are, Adam, but they're racing in a desert and the track has been resurfaced, so it's ultra grippy this year. We've seen lap records sort of fall away as well, but inside the cockpit, they're wearing the fireproof overalls, all the fireproof underwear as well. They've got the aero screen, which blocks off a lot of the air intake into the driver. So it's incredibly difficult for them. How much is going to be preloading of the water? How much of getting it all in your system ready to go is it going to be for the drivers out there today? Because they're going to lose around about 5 to 6, maybe more kilograms of weight and water, fluids alone, during this 2-hour race.
Yeah, you mentioned how hot it's been, Josh. All these drivers are going to want to, they've got their fireproof suits. They've got the balaclava that they wear, and it does take a toll on you. And if you're not prepared for the heat, it's not good. So you've got to stay hydrated, drink as much water as you can, enough fluids as you can, and just do the best job that you can. And if you're not prepared, then it hurts you. So all these drivers are used to running in the heat and everything. So I think all these drivers are going to be well prepared, for the season finale, running in the heat, and they'll stock up on fluids, for the race, and probably find a way during the race.
Yeah, they're allowed, of course. The heatness from the car heats up the water. I know some drivers prefer having a toxin of things as well coming in so that they can regenerate some of their powers. It's never just pure water, because, of course, water at heat boils, you score your throat, and it doesn't actually hydrate you. Many of the drivers nowadays have these special cocktails, non-alcoholic, of course, but it's a mixture of protein, it's a mixture of vitamins and everything that's been pumped into the driver. But let's hear from Colton Herta. He's down there right now with Kevin Lee on the grid.
Colton has already won twice. What is it about this place with you guys?
I don't know. Obviously, a little bit of a local race for us, being from California. But yeah, I really love this place. It's treated us well in the past. Hopefully, it treats us well again today. Seems like we have a good car, just missing qualifying a little bit. But we have the speed, we have the pace to fight through here. It's going to be a long one, a physical one. And this Cambridge Honda is up for it, so I'm excited for today.
Yeah, he is starting just a little bit better in the mid-pack, but Lee Colton Herta has a fast car from 12th today.
Wouldn't that be something if he
does indeed have a fast car? Adams pick a winner coming into today's race as well. We've got 15 minutes until the command is given. There's Christian Lundgaard just getting all set up as well in the 45 car. Lundgaard surprised everybody in qualifying yesterday, actually. He nearly had a front row start. In fact, we had a little bet. If you're watching our qualifying stream, we had a thing of who was from the Firestone Fast 12 would go into the Firestone Fast 6. We all made our predictions. I think, Adam, you got 5 out of 6, didn't you? Josh got 4 out of 6. Amy got 3 out of 6. I somehow managed to get all 6 out of 6, so I was very proud about that. I don't know how I did it. It's last year all over again with Marcus Ericsson winning the 500, Adam, but your pick a winner might be on a better call today, though.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah, and I still don't know how you did it yesterday. And Marcus Ericsson in last year's Indy 500. I think you don't have a Josh, you don't have a crystal ball in the comm box, do you?
If I did, I would have used it this morning to tell me not to do the Moto 3 or Moto 2 races live so that I wouldn't get striked by Dorna. Yeah, so I would have made sure to stay well clear of them. It's going to be one of those evenings, I'm afraid, to get ready as well as we get set up. Pato O'Ward next to come out onto the track then as well in the McLaren in the driver introduction. So coming in kind of close to the command. The driver's going to have time to get all set and ready to go, but that is coming up next. We're going to tune up, though, with Tom Gaymore and see what he says now on the Sky broadcast.
To predict a winner, 21 of the last 24 visits here, 1 from a top 3 starter, 15 from pole, 4 from second. And 2 of the 3 on Sunday belong to McLaren and RLL. Penske and Ganassi, however, have won all 6 races on road courses this season. They went 1, 2, 3 here a year ago as well. There is a really quick McLaren, a really quick Rahal Letterman Lanigan car in Christian Lundgaard in and amongst it, though. So will Penske and Ganassi be challenged? Team Penske's won 6 times here. Rahal Letterman Lanigan has won 3 times. Chip Ganassi has won 3 times. You can get in touch on Twitter and or X at Tom Gaymore. Use the hashtag SkyIndyCar. Who's your prediction for this, the series finale?
The official staffing provider of the NTT IndyCar Series is once again hosting the People Ready Force for Good Challenge, where drivers compete for the grand prize of $1 million to be split with a charity of their choice. To learn more, go to visit peopleready.com/force for good. Look at that crowd on the grid today. What a day for the final race of the season. 28 weeks of racing this year, 12 states and 2 countries, and it all wraps up this afternoon here on the Monterey Peninsula. Time for today's pre-race ceremonies from Laguna Seca.
At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Defense Language Institute Language Center Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Chaplain Jason Holt of IndyCar Ministries offers today's invocation.
Father God, we thank you for the gift of life and for creating such an amazing place for a racetrack. God, we thank you for the brave men and women who sacrificed it all that we might be free to gather and pray openly like this today. And so, God, we ask for your blessing over these drivers, teams, safety personnel, and these great fans, that we would have an exciting and yet safe day of racing. But most of all, we say thank you for the hope and love available to all at the cross of Jesus Christ, in whose name I pray. Amen.
Here to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Airman First Class Natalie Angst from the United States Air Force Band of the Golden West.
Final time this year. Enjoy it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
What a magic response here at Laguna Seca. The fly past coming in. And a wonderful rendition as well of the national anthem. The grid has just launched up on our timing screen as well. We'll go through that shortly as we get set. And I tell you what, Adam, final time, it was a good one to go out on as well, wasn't it, for the American national anthem? Beautifully sung. And we're all set then. Lovely invocation as well. But it's just bubbling up now, isn't it? The last race, it's got to be a cracker going into the winter's break, because there is so much on the line. There's so many contracts still to be disputed. We're going to need a show at some point before this end of the year, because so much will change. I'm so looking forward to this, and I know you are too. No sign of Josh T at the moment, though.
Yeah, we know the champion is. We know championship has been decided, and we know second place has been decided. Third place. The battle for third is still ongoing. The team's championship will be clinched today, and so many rides. We don't know where drivers are going next year. So, folks, on behalf of Josh T, Omi, and Jess, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in all year long for our coverage of the NTT IndyCar Series. We so much appreciate it. And next year, I will be here as race analyst all season long. So I'm looking forward to next year. I know Josh is looking forward to next year. So, tomorrow is a very special day here in the United States and across the world, because it's 9/11. So if you're watching in the comments, let us know where you were when 9/11 2001 happened, and what was your initial reaction when you saw the planes go into the World Trade Center towers? I know it's a moment I won't forget. I know it's a moment you won't forget, Josh. And I can't believe it's over 20 years since it happened.
It's one of my earliest memories as well. That whole event, it was shocking, and my main memory of it as well, because it's all disjointed at that time as well, 2001. I remember seeing everything then, but I also remember the after effect it had, because of course, it's going to sound silly, but the after effect of Formula One, the Italian Grand Prix, was just a couple of days later. And it was such a weird atmosphere. Michael Schumacher and Ferrari all in plain overalls. Schumacher looking like he didn't want to be there. Everyone looking like they didn't want to be there. There was the talk about not racing into turn number one and everything as well, because everyone, it really did spook everybody. It was weird that Formula One was involved in it. It's weird actually, because Formula One was involved then with the Ukrainian war only last year. It gets itself involved in it. And then of course we were racing in the States 2 weeks later, of course, 30th September. It was the American Grand Prix at Indianapolis, and it was Murray Walker's last commentary as a full-time commentator, and then it was sort of reverberated around there still. And I remember the way the country came back together as well was fantastic, and the atmosphere at Indianapolis was that of somber remembrance, but also a party atmosphere. As I can only describe, it was like Britain during the war. Keep calm and carry on. And they really did put on a great atmosphere and a great race. And what Murray Walker said, it lifted the spirit of America a little bit to have the first ever international race go there, put it on the performance, and it goes so successfully as well, was a big uplift as well. But it was an absolute tragedy as well. And yes, 9/11. 22 years, isn't it, now coming up as well, which is just
22
insane.
years.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's right, Josh. 22 years since it happened, and it still sends shivers down my. It's just me as an American. It still sends shivers down my spine. I can tell you where I was. I was at a local community college here in North Carolina, where I live, and I was getting ready to take my first computer class of the day when one of the students said, "Adam, come from this classroom that has a TV." So I went in there and I saw it happen, and still horrific to this day. And but like you said, Josh, to hear Murray Walker, to hear everything, when Formula One came over here to, to Indianapolis, it was truly uplifting. And I believe Buckingham Palace played the American national anthem and everything else. So, yeah,
very rare.
It's still, 22 years. It's hard to think about,
Got to think about it. Got to think about it. Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing as well. It's eventually when I get over there to the States as well, definitely want to go and visit the wonderful museum they have there at Ground Zero.
I can say I have actually gone there a couple years ago, and you can just walking along and seeing all the names. It brought tears. I literally cried. It brought so many tears to my eyes, Josh. So it's called. If you ever get a chance to go over and see the Freedom Tower, go check out the museum. I highly recommend it.
I do too. I'm definitely going eventually. So many places to go and places to do as well. And it's all looking good.
Same here. It's called. I want to get over there to the UK sometime, Josh, and come see the Combox in person.
It's not the most glamorous place in the world where I am, but you're more than welcome to come along and actually get in the Combox and get a headset on and do a commentary in person. We need to get I keep saying we need to build it where we can all be, just sort of all get in there as well, across here and in America as well. So we'll get all that sorted. But we're getting set for the command to be given for the Grand Prix of Monterey. We've been talking for around about 50 minutes as well. Josh T has yet to turn up. I'm hoping he's remembering that we're going to be live, or are going to be live for the race, but it's time for the final one of the 2023 season to head trackside and listen to the wise words of the drivers. Start your engines. Another thing that's on my bucket list to call that at some point as well. I'm sure, Adam, you'd love to do that as well. Get the drivers underway. But it's going to be a good one. The dignitaries have faded away, and we're getting ready for the parade laps to begin for this 95-lap Grand Prix at Laguna Seca. Let's hand it over to NBC.
And ending this season as a winner, and that is important. Welcome, folks. Lee Diffie along with Townsend Bell and James Hinchcliffe. It's almost ready to go racing.
And great to see so many thousands of fans here that have said, hey, dude, hold my board. I'm going off the beach right now. Let's go inland here, halfway between Monterey and Salinas, up on the hill near the corkscrew to watch the drama unfold. And James, we've had a lot of drama on this brand new asphalt this weekend.
We sure have. It's been fast, but it's been fierce. Even a little bit offline, that incredible gain in grip that the drivers are seeing completely disappears. We've seen some big wrecks from some big name drivers, and it's definitely something we're going to pay attention to in the race.
And we talked in the pre-race show about so many drivers that want their first win of the season, like this guy, Pato O'Ward, who got it wrong over in turn 3. And the problem with the new surface is it's so sticky that if you get a chance to pass, you move offline and it gets so slippery.
And it's so much faster that it's so much more physical. By the end of this race, fatigue's going to set in. It's going to make those small mistakes that can have those huge consequences even more prevalent.
This is like a rose. Looks great, but it's got thorns. That's for sure. So it's been inviting the drivers to push at high speeds, but as you've seen, it's caught many of them out. Time to go trackside for the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give the command for the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey. Please welcome your Grand Marshal, content creator, Truett Batten.
Drivers, start your engines.
Fuel here, Red 1 right now.
Such a sweet sound. Let's go through the field.
Engines are fired for all 27 cars. Let's get this thing going. What a day. Yes, on the first weekend of the NFL season, it's the final weekend of the NTT IndyCar Series, and here is the fire.
Yep, here's your starting grid then. It is Felix Rosenquist on pole position. Scott McLaughlin lines up second. Christian Lundgaard is third with Joseph Newgarden fourth. Alex Palou fifth. Venus Vique is sixth. Will Power seventh. Romain Grosjean lines up eighth on the grid. Then it's going down for Pato O'Ward alongside Graham Rahal. Scott Dixon has row 6. He is alongside Colton Herta. Further down as well on the 7th row, we see Yuri Vips in his second race. Alongside him is Marcus Armstrong. Row 8 is Alexander Rossi and Carl Kirkwood. Row 9, Tino Ferrucci alongside Marcus Ericsson. Further down, it's Agustin Canapino for Junkos Racing alongside his teammate Callum Ilott. They're on row 10 as well. Row 11, Tom Blomqvist and David Malukas. Row 12, Benjamin Pedersen and Stingray Robb. And on row 13, we go with Ryan Hunter-Ray and Devlin Di Francesco. And the last row, row 14, Helio Castroneves allowed to start in the Meyer Shank Racing number 6 after spinning in qualifying. Adam, the car's out there on the pace lap. We should be seeing about 2 to 3 of these as well for 95 laps. But boy, is it hot out there. We're going to be in for a scorcher.
Yes, Josh, we sure are. And Helio Castroneves, running his final race as a full-time driver. A lot of people may remember that Helio once drove for the legendary Roger Penske. So, but we'll see Helio back in the month of May at the Indianapolis 500, where he goes for number 5. But he's also an owner as well, so he'll still be seen amongst everybody in the paddock.
It is his 391st start in the NTT IndyCar Series. It will be the last regular, as you say. He starts from the back. He span in qualifying and was forced to start from the back. They are coming across the line. That is Will Power, who is down in the field as well with Romain Grosjean just coming across, actually. So I don't know why Power's at the front there as well. He starts 7th, Grosjean starts 8th. The rest of the field are approaching on the back half of the track. We understand that the driver track is a little bit out of sync. Hopefully it'll catch up at some point. That's mainly down to because so far Josh T isn't here. He is apparently going to be here soon. So no worries. We've got Adam in the box as he is now permanently for IndyCar. So very excited to have you here for the remainder. We've been here for the last 4 races, plus now all of next season, including the All-Star race that's coming. £1 million on the 24th of March. I don't know how we're going to cover that, but we will in some form or another. And fingers crossed, Adam, we have a clean start. The last thing we want is a yellow getaway as NBC go to their break to build up. But we need a green flag start because this track is very difficult into turn 1. It's downhill, heavy on the brakes, easy to lock up and career into everybody else.
Yeah, you go at turn 1 and then you go into turn 2 where we've seen plenty of chaos through in history. Turn 6, you go up the hill and then you go into turn 7 and then you had the legendary corkscrew. Turn 8 where we've seen craziness throughout time. So we all want a clean start here, so hopefully we will get it. Turn 9, you go down the hill, under the bridge, and leads out to turn 10. In the last turn, turn 11, and then you're back on the front stretch, under the bridge, and you completed another lap here at historic Laguna Seca.
Wonderful track, one of my favourites, and I know we were discussing yesterday about MotoGP being back here. Can't wait if that ever happens. It's a brilliant track. It used to be, what race was it? It was we had the Grand Prix of the Americas. This was the United States Grand Prix, wasn't it? So
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it sure was. Sure was. We need MotoGP here again in the Laguna Seca because I think now the quality of riders they need to experience Laguna Seca like so many other riders have in the past.
It's a fantastic circuit. The racing we've had here across all of the broadcasts have been spectacular. Fingers crossed we are going to see something similar here today. They are getting ready. They're 95 laps ahead of us for the Grand Prix of Monterey. They'll begin forming up in their duration, so just keep it together. Timing screen back up in sync, we're being told. Let's see how long it stays like that to come into it. It's Felix Rosenqvist for the Aaron McLaren on pole position. Watch out for Scott McLaughlin to take an early lead. He'll go on the outside line to turn 1. It loops back in to a tight right turn 2. He's got a chance. There's Marcus Ericsson starting down the field today in 18th position. They're going too wide though. Rosenqvist has the inside line, as I said. On the outside will be Scott McLaughlin. There's no overtaking until you see the green flag. So, ready for one last dance through the desert? It's Laguna Seca at the Grand Prix of Monterey. We've been on 16 journeys together this year. Will you please join me for one last dance? It's green flag and away we go for the Grand Prix of Monterey. And it's down to turn 1. 3 wide from the back. Already Romain Grosjean's having a bit of trouble. Will Power is side by side. Coming through there is Pato O'Ward, but Rosenqvist leads it to 1. And it's a little bit of contact with Christian Lundgaard. And Lundgaard forces off McLaughlin. And there's a multi-car crash at the first corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in, and what we've got, that's Joseph Newgarden, and there's another spinner further up the field as well. Multiple cars off, yellow flag, surely maybe even a red flag. It's the 15 of Graham Rahal, and it's a full course yellow, the 2 of Joseph Newgarden, and coming in there as well, I think it was the 30 of Yuri Vips, Adam. Terrible start at turn 1, full course yellow again.
We knew this could happen, since we knew, because of how tight turn 1 and turn 2 is. Well, it happened, and I'm sad to see about Yuri Vips. He came over from Formula 2. What a drive and qualifying he had yesterday, and unfortunately, here we see Graham Rahal unbuckling and climbs out of the car. Joseph Newgarden climbs out of the car. Yuri Vips will probably climb out of the car, and I know Yuri Vips didn't want to see his race end like that. Tough luck for Graham Rahal and Joseph Newgarden. Joseph, last time out of Portland, he crashed in qualifying, so he wanted to end this year on a high, and unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
And I believe the cars are going through the pit lane. Let's take a look at it. So Will Power jumps out across the grass there. I can't see who got the jump getaway at the moment. There's Grosjean. I can't see. I think it's Vips who jumps out from line and into the first corner. So Power gets a squirt alongside. Dixon gets a jump. Everybody was just slow on the restart. It's like the front 2 were just backing them up. Half of them jumped in, then coming into the first corner. Watch out for Scott McLaughlin. So he's into one. He gets a tap from Christian Lundgaard. That sends him wide. He dives into the side of Newgarden, and then Newgarden gets collected by a separate accident further back between Graham Rahal, who has contact with Yuri Vips. Vips locks up. He touches the back of Dixon, and then it's Armstrong who gets involved and just puts on the anchors. Newgarden gets involved for his second accident of the afternoon already, and then Vips just that was Vips' fault who caused the secondary accident. Newgarden's going to get going again with the sand and the dust all the way around. Rahal's out of the race, and I also think definitely out of the race is the 30 of Yuri Vips. Chaos at the start then, Adam, and Newgarden's going to get in, but he's going to go, what, a lap down, maybe 2? As that is that Vips? That is Vips back out on the circuit. Wow.
Nice. I see Yuri Vips back out there. Second start for the rookie. Like I mentioned, he former F2 driver. So
Kyle Kirkwood's in the pit lane. Would you like to
see Yuri Vips compete? So Josh, would you like to see Yuri Vips compete next year in the NTT IndyCar Series? I mean, he's got the talent.
I would indeed, and I think he has definitely got the talent and the speed. So I'd love him to be in the championship next season. Hopefully, he will be. That is Yuri Vips, I believe, who has been stuck in the gravel trap, because I don't think it's Graham Rahal, is it? So that is, that's not going to go down well. The 2 Rahal and Lanigans coming a bit of a together. That's going to go down very well. I think half the field are either coming down the pit lane to get out of the way as we get a restart going on. It says a dust and gravel going through. Now, I don't think you can overtake the field, can you? Because you've been overtaken by the pace car and the leader, so they're going to have to hold it back in. That is the 30 of Yuri Vips, who has now got going, but is now 3 laps down on this event. Well, a chaotic getaway at the start, not what we wanted, pretty much what we deserved, really, I think, after this amazing season. We'll go again. Rosenquist now leads from the champion Alex Palou, who's made his way back up into second position. Power is third, Pato O'Ward fourth, Dixon fifth, Herta sixth. Newgarden has restarted, so really, if it wasn't for Graham Rahal having a bit of a hot head, he could have got dragged out of turn one, Adam, and got going. But he got out of the car and wants to have a little bit of a friendly word with Yuri Vips in a very dark room with a baseball bat.
That's a good way to put it, Josh. And Yuri Vips isn't used to this environment like these full-time drivers are. So Yuri Vips has a lot to learn over here in the States regarding racing.
We're under full course yellow. If you're rejoining us on the NBC feed for the Grand Prix of Monterey at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, coming through the corkscrew for the fourth time, we're under the yellow. And this is why, at the start of the race, little lock-up from Christian Lundgaard, just touching the side of Scott McLaughlin, put him through the gravel. But it was Yuri Vips who made contact with Graham Rahal, who then ran into the side of Marcus Armstrong, who tripped up Joseph Newgarden, and all hell broke loose down at turn one. And really, it was Newgarden getting forced wide, first by Christian Lundgaard, then just got collected by everybody else's drama. A comedy of errors at the first corner. The pace car is coming through the pit lane in order to make sure turn one is completely safe for recovery vehicles. O'Ward did well not to run into the side of it, but it was just like parting of the Red Sea. He's up to fifth position, and he actually got tagged by his own teammate there. That's the other McLaren coming through. Who touched him there as well, Alexander Rossi. So it all got messy down at the first corner. And this is McLaughlin, round the outside, had a go, but just going to get attacked from Lundgaard. And he's now dropped, Adam, from second all the way down. I'm trying to find him on the timing screen now, where McLaughlin, 19th place, Adam. Wow.
You got you took the words right out of my mouth, Josh. Wow. And you can see Graham Rahal getting involved here in the chaos in turn two. But that's the way Graham Rahal wanted to end his year. We talked about what happened. We talked about what happened at the Indy 500, and Graham Rahal started on pole for the IMS road course. So he wanted to end his year on high, and unfortunately, it wasn't able to happen.
Now we know why Rahal is 100% out of this race as well. Broken front left and right suspension, so it looks like he's gone inwards as well and walking like a funny penguin. There is Vips getting 2 new tyres on, taking off from sticker reds to... Well, they're not allowed to change the tyres yet, so they may want to go on sticker reds, but under that rule, you're not allowed to change tyres until it's been deemed by the officials you're okay. It's the 10-minute rule, so he's going to go back out. Graham Rahal's car is now acting like a parrot who's doing a very dodgy bumping thing, and it's flying up and down. It's tethered to the back of the AMR safety truck, but of course the engine's at the back, so it's rear heavy and it's sort of swinging around at the back like you've got a very heavy friend at one end of a seesaw and a very light friend at the other. It's going to rock more in one direction than the other no matter how hard you push. So a lot of pit stops coming in now of Armstrong, McLaughlin and Ericsson. They'll come through, get a new set of tyres and head back out there, Adam, and just about ready for then, I think, for a restart in the next coming laps.
Yeah, Scott McLaughlin's, he started on outside pole, and that's not the way he wanted to have his start. But it's a long way to go, Josh. But if anybody can do it, it's the 3-time Supercars champion. He can do it. He's a master of road courses, so Scotty Mack can get it back up to the front.
A lot of damage for a side pod and floor repair coming on Newgarden on the rear left as we look at it. Now the officials are watching on. You're not allowed to do too much damage. It's literally a new side floor that's been literally gaffer taped on. It's just going to be safe enough, but that's going to be horrible for Newgarden. His year going from bad to worse. So, yeah, fingers crossed, we're going to have a good one. But we're getting ready for the restart. Lap 5 of 95. Field have got to bunch back up together. The two spread out at the moment. This is on board with Kyle Kirkwood, who was Is that out of the pit lane now? VK's... Oh, hang on, that's Vips going behind the wall, so Vips is out of the race. He's out. So who's still in the pit lane? Because we've got multiple in there. VK's in the pits, Fred Carpenter Racing. We've got Vips and Kirkwood in there, but I swear we just saw Kirkwood out on the track. So unless he hasn't synced up yet, 1 to go until the green. We're being told now from the race official on the flag stand down towards turn number 1. So VK's disappeared in action. Vips is out, he's gone behind the wall, and Carl Kirkwood on our timing screen saying he's in the pit lane, but we think we've just seen him out there on the circuit. But apparently he's on the, according to the driver tracker, he's in the pit lane, so we'll see. But Adam, do you reckon now it's single file to the restart? Will we have an easier run, or is it we going to go back to yellow quite quickly?
I think with a single file restart, I think things will start to calm down just a little. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Warming up the tyres for Pato O'Ward. He's in 4th position. There's Dixon lining up 5th as well. Can he round out with a 3rd win of 2023? He got himself close to title contention. Just took it out of him as well with victory at road course. And then again at the secondary race out on the streets of Nashville, I believe. Yeah, want to say that's right. Anyway, coming up for a restart. As Rosenquist will lead them, you're allowed to boot it out of the last corner, but IndyCar have the power to wave off the start. Now it has gone, command green. Rosenquist has seen the panel. He can now accelerate out of the last corner, and there's moves going on into the last corner. That's not really the allowed position, and that is Canapino getting ahead of Santino Ferrucci. Now Blomqvist is going to have a go with him as well. It's green flag racing again, but I don't think Canapino was allowed to do that. We may have gone green, but there was a bit of a problem. You're not allowed to overtake into the start line. Mayhem done it to turn 1 as Marcus Ericsson tries to go around the outside of half the field to the first corner. Coming in there on Castroneves and trying to get past Malukas. And McLaughlin now on the inside of the pair of them in towards turn 4. And unfortunately, getting pushed out wide was Marcus Ericsson. Tried it, failed it. McLaughlin back through. Now he's in a battle as well with the back of one of the Young Cost Hollander Racings. And it must be Eilert because Canapino's up in 9th position. Oh, good restart though, actually, Adam. They've all kept clean, but if you jump in the gun, I reckon. Oh, contact! Pedersen losing rear, and the front wing plate of on board with Scotty Mac's car just touching the back, and that could have been an airplane one. Wow, they got lucky there.
Yeah, that's true, Josh. And as we see, Alex Hello is trying to take the lead from Felix Rosenquist going into the last corner, and it looks like the champion is out in front one more time.
He's literally pushed his way through on Rosenquist, and Power's gone through into 2nd place as well. Will Power has not won a race in 2023. It's very unusual for him not to be in that position. Now he's going to go after Palou for the race win on lap 8 of 95 here at Laguna Seca. Rosenquist got pushed out. Grosjean was on the dust coming out of turn 2 there. They've got to be careful with that. They can't let it fall back any further. But a good restart, a clean restart, exactly what we wanted to see here. At the circuit. This is how Palou did it, as you said, Adam, up the inside, and he literally just forces Rosenquist out of the way.
Yeah, it's like it's like Alex wanted the lead, and he took it fair. He took it fair square. Now we're on board with Scotty Mac, and he taps Benjamin Pedersen going up the hill, but Alex Palou this year, what can you say that has not been said about him?
Oh, it's Newgarden!
Whoa, Newgarden is in the wall, and that is the 2nd caution of the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey.
Turn 7.
Not what Joseph wanted. No.
Has he spun it? I can't tell. The wheel's pulling. I think he's pulled off. Oh, he's not happy. That's it, out. Newgarden is out of the race. Unless he's spun and stalled. He's not getting out of the car like it's gone wrong. I would love to see if we got that one on a replay. But Newgarden's out, well, at the moment, stranded at the side of the track. 2nd yellow out. Here we go. He's going to lose it on the dust, isn't he?
Yep.
See, turning in. Going to cut the front. Yep.
Just lost it in the dust. Yep.
Oh, and he nerfed
and
the
into
barrier.
the timer. So
Front wing damage, tyre damage as well. Actually, the front wing's not too bad. That's why it's held up quite well. These IndyCar front wings are made of steel to get through. So, second yellow of this race. Pagenaud, Power, Rosenquist, O'Ward, Dixon. Let's check in with Tom Gaymore.
Joseph Newgarden's year, really sublime on the ovals, the king of the ovals, but the road and street courses, I think the stat was only 3 Fast 6 qualifying sessions for Joseph Newgarden on road and street courses. Hasn't really translated much into the way of meaningful results. Still found himself third heading into this weekend in terms of the championship points, but you know, this is a champion that wants more than that, and he'll be frustrated with another difficult day in the office for him. From one end of the spectrum to the other, Alex Pagenaud has finished 5th, 1st, 7th and 1st on the road courses in 2023, and that move on Felix Rosenquist just about cements where his confidence is. That was win it or bin it, knees and elbows out. And if you're Felix Rosenquist around this 2.38 mile circuit, to get bullied out of it there by Alex Pagenaud, it's disappointing for the Papaya driver. Arrow McLaren desperately seeking their first win of the year. That said, still 85 laps to go of this Grand Prix of Monterey, and there's plenty of time for Felix Rosenquist to muster up some revenge. The only challenge is he's got Will Power on the soft tyres, on the alternates, ahead of him now in second place. And as I said at the start, if the alternate is not the favoured tyre to be on, this is good for Will Power, because most of his running on this alternate tyre will be under caution at this juncture, because here we are again. It's very much been the story of the weekend. Since the test on Thursday through practice and qualifying, we've seen plenty of red flags, and now we're under caution for the second time. Joseph Newgarden is trying to drive that stricken Hitachi Penske Chevrolet back to pit road, and his day is all but done in terms of securing that third place in the championship. Now, Scotty Mack, who's vying for top honours at Penske. What a achievement that would be. Second year in, of course, coming from V8 supercars. He's used to a roof over his head. He's been brilliant since he's got to IndyCar, and that would be quite the result for him. But he's got a lot of work to do coming from the back.
Lot to look forward to then, as we're still under caution here on lap 10 of 95 for the Grand Prix of Monterey. Country music is needed out of here, and there's no better than Taylor Swift and, of course, the wonderful, wonderful Dolly Parton to come into it. But that's more Nashville, isn't it, Adam, as well? But you're in the country here, they're going to say again, you've got to have a little bit on. It's like the dust gets into your lungs, doesn't it? Oh, sorry, 2 seconds, here's pit road.
Start of the race of just chaos, seemed like, Graham.
Yeah, I don't really know. It felt like we were in a box there. I think, you know, Colton jumped to start quite a bit and got a few rows up, and then everything got tight and condensed.
It was hurting,
so,
right?
You know, Grosjean, all of us were a little bit slow into one, but I mean, I felt I left a lot of room to the inside for whatever kind of transpired, and I, you know, clearly get wrong place, wrong time there, and unfortunately, you know, I didn't see Armstrong at all, but unfortunately we hit Yuri, we hit Joseph, we hit, God knows, I haven't even seen the full thing yet, but I feel like we hit everybody. I just told the medical staff I've seen them more than my wife this year. It's pretty pathetic, you know. It feels like we just, you know, we can't have the good fortune. You know, I try to keep clean, give plenty of room. You know, these young guys nowadays, they race, you know, much more with without the part up here, and we've got to be prepared for that, though. I do, and you know, I thought I gave them plenty.
Pagenaud goes for the restart. Are you ready for it? And we are racing again as Power dives to the inside line, gets ahead of Rosenquist to defend from second position. Green flag, race on again, and look at this from Rosenquist, such an aggressive restart. He's going to pull around the outside of Power in towards turn number 1. Tries to have a lunge, hasn't worked out. Now it's turn 1, land the brakes. Oh, beautiful! Power's there to capitalise on this little bit of contact. Power gets forced down wide. Through goes one McLaren. Through goes goes to McLaren as well. And that is better than revenge for what happened a couple of laps ago with Rosenquist having to let Power back through. Beautiful run and a beautiful bit of comeuppance there as a karma for Power early on in the race.
Yeah, nice to see another clean restart. And, oh yeah, Josh, we actually have someone who's coming to the broadcast. So I want to say hello, Omi. How are you, my friend?
Hello. Just talked over a 2-lap sprint shootout as well at the end. So drama
nice.
like Japan. Anyway.
Hello, you all right?
Hello. Yeah, doing well.
Good. Josh T has disappeared off the face of the planet. Literally, the last... Oh, and Dixon's into the pit lane. That's interesting. So he couldn't make it on fuel either. Only 12 laps under this yellow. So Josh T's disappeared. We've got no idea where he is. And it's playing havoc with all our systems because he's not here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can already see lag on the TV pictures.
Yeah. It's that kind of day to try and get things sorted. So we are trying to call him, but if you could try and get his attention, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay,
thanks. Thank you, Amy. Palou leads by 1.5 seconds to O'Ward. Palou leads 1.6 seconds to Rosenquist. Then it's O'Ward, Power, her to the top 5 in that new livery, as Adam has been talking about throughout the broadcast, remembering, of course, of his father, Brian Herter, who won here, as you said, back in 1996. When we came back here in 2019, Herter did the double and took the victory as well. And then he won in 2021. Why we didn't race here in 2020? Well, pandemic. We didn't come here. It was part of the red state. We could not travel to Laguna Seca as well, just outside of sort of California. So we couldn't go. So it's a shame, really, isn't it, Adam? But it's nice to have this track back permanently as Power sets off a recovery drive now in 4th place.
Yeah, like we've talked about, Will Power winning one race, at least one race of the year, takes me back to the days of former NASCAR driver Ricky Rudd. And Ricky won at least one race for over 15 years. So it's, and Will Power got bumped out of the way. Felix Rosenquist going into turn 2, and him and his teammate Pato O'Ward took advantage. So no one's playing any favorites at the moment.
Yeah, Newgarden's back into the pit lane, by the way. So I think his day is done, as well as several others. So 23 left in the race. VK's left, actually, the pit lane finally. Palou then is our race leader. He took the restart away from Rosenquist. So Palou leads, Rosenquist, O'Ward, Power, Herter, Grosjean, Rossi, Canapino impressively up into 8th position. Newgarden's left the pit lane, but now is 5 laps down on the field. There he is coming through. So bad to worst day. Hello to Jeff. Hello to McRae. Hello to Joe as well. Earl coming in. Hello to Joshua Smith. And hello to George. And of course, Adam's in the chat room as well, keeping an eye on things. Hello, Adam. In there too. So this is where the race quietened down, doesn't it? As Canapino passes Rossi for a 7th place. Canapino really is going well. Did you hear, Adam, said that there could be an Argentina race next year. Now we know there's going to be a non-championship $1 million race. Does that mean that we could have an Argentina race next year that's actually a points-paying round of the championship?
It could happen, but according to Marshall Pruitt from Racer.com, I think the schedule will be released in a couple weeks. So watch Grid tonight on Grid Network, as they'll have, when the 2024 NTT IndyCar Series comes out, you will know on Grid tonight. So subscribe over to our friends at the Grid Network for all of your motorsports action.
Omi said, hello, Josh, I want my hello. Hello, Omi. You're down there, of course, you're there as well. So, Dixon's closing in on the back there. That is trying and get ahead of somebody, Team Radio.
We need to serve it now. Avoidable contact, whoever that was that you hit there in turn 2. Are you kidding me? That's exactly what we said. Let's just go through the pit lane.
All right, so that's how they feel at Chip Ganassi Racing. Not too happy there, and there they are, the two.
Yeah, so Dixon's got a drive-through penalty for avoidable contact. Hello to Cole as well in the chat. So an avoidable contact for Dixon. He's now going to have to come through pit road, do a drive-through. That's going to drop him back at least where I'm trying to find where he is in the field at the moment, looking on the timing tower. Dixon's 21st, so it's going to drop him right to the back of the field as well. So any chance of his day being racy has pretty much, unfortunately, had a swan song. But Pagenaud has already put up 3.6 seconds. We haven't even got to the first round of pit stops, Adam. The two cautions came out really early on, so it's extended this first fuel stint as well, as we ride on board with Agustin Canapino across the line, chasing down Romain Grosjean. So when do you think we're going to have the pit stops now? I'm thinking around about that 2021 roundabout.
That's what I was thinking too, Josh. About 7, between lap 20, maybe 20 to 25, we'll see the first round of pit stops, and then so we're on board here with Agustin Canapino, and he tried to get around Romain Grosjean going up the hill, so it didn't happen. So I think first round of pit stops will happen anywhere between lap 20 and 25.
Yep, absolutely. I've just got that data come through on my phone as well, so we're on the money here, Adam, for that one. So we're bang on there. So that's going to be pit stop number 1. Vips and Kirkwood seem to be the only two in the pits that are looking to be out. Add to that as well everybody else. So really there's only 24 runners left in this race, which is what you're seeing on the timing towers, with the 3 retirements, 3, 5, 6, 7. Dixon's into the pits for his drive-through. So it's Rahal, Vips and Kirkwood out of the race. Dixon's in for his drive-through penalty as we come across the line. Go on, Amy.
What happened to Vips?
Vips went kamikaze pilot towards turn number 1, locked up, hit the side of... well, first of all, he hit the side of Marcus Armstrong, who then hit the side of Joseph Newgarden, and then Graham Rahal was sort of in between and got sandwiched, and both his front suspensions broke. Hang on a minute.
His fault?
Yes, it was. Dixon's not allowed to do that under a drive-through, is he? So has he already done one drive-through and now he's come back in the pit lane again? Dixon...
I think so.
He's only gone through the pit lane twice, so... I'm not sure that's actually correct, because we went once under the safety car, then once now. This was the avoidable contact at the start, so watch out for Dixon. He's along... Where is he? There he is. He's alongside Romain Grosjean. So who does he hit into turn 1? Does he hit Grosjean? I don't know what they want there. I think he did touch Grosjean. Oh, no, there he is.
Yes, I think you're...
He hit VK further up the picture. He hit he hit VK, right.
That's why Braden's VK was in the 5th, okay.
So
we know.
Yeah, that was the car that was sideways further up the track when we were saying how much chaos there was. So it was Dixon hit VK at turn 3. Yes, chaos only at the start. That was the start, actually. You would have liked it. There's Armstrong. What did you think of that, actually, watching the replay of me? That type of start. Just chaos again, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolute chaos. I want to hear your reaction back to what you were saying as well.
Rewind the tape.
To that one, but yeah, and also, well, that just basically sums up Vips. Now I've just quickly bought myself a little snack because I haven't felt more hungry in my life. I've been at it with back-to-back stints, so.
Eat, have some food. We're gonna take a little bit. Tom Gamel.
95, Alex Pagenaud doing Alex Pagenaud things out front. He is in a commanding position, but Scott Dixon, always keep an eye out for him, because what mischief is he up to out back in terms of going off strategy? Is he going to sprinkle some Dixie dust on this race and do the unthinkable? Well, right now he's down in 22nd place. He's made 2 stops. The lead car of the stoppers, that's Scott McLaughlin. He's in 12th. He's got Callum Ilott behind him. He is in 13th. They're worth watching as well because they both run both compounds. So at the moment, Scotty Mack started on the reds. He ditched that for the
blacks. Refresh pictures.
And Callum Ilott started on the blacks. He's now on the reds. So he's slightly compromised. But if this is going to be a black race, which we're still not sure, it might be a red race. We'll have to wait and see. Then those two run both compounds. At the moment, look at Pagenaud's advantage, 6 2.5 seconds. Whilst we're just looking at other things to look at in this race, there's also the battle for the manufacturers. Honda hold a 16-point lead over Chevrolet, and that is something to keep an eye on, as well as the all-important what do they call it? The all-important £1 million in terms of finishing in the top 22. Leader circle, that was the phrase I was after. So you might hear the NBC team talk about the leader circle. That's the top 22 full-time teams. At the moment, it's worth about $900,000, but that's really, really important for those that are on the bubble, for the likes of Marcus Armstrong, Devlin DiFrancesco, Augustine Canapino on the bubble in 22nd place. So the NBC team might refer to that, but right now we're going to focus on what's happening out front. They're going to probably go another 6 to 8 laps longer in terms of fuel here because of the yellows.
Cheers, Tom. So we are going to try and run with the cautions. You're back with us if you're watching the NBC broadcast here around the world. Thank you for tuning in to JB Motorsports' watch-along commentary for the Grand Prix of Monterey at Worldwide Technology Raceway Laguna Seca. WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. I've gone back to Bob Morado. That was just a great race at the Oval. Wasn't bad at all. Last race of the year, and Pato is leading it. On course for victory number 6 out of the 17. Nothing more that he could do, is there, Adam? In the beautiful American Legion car this weekend. Special livery. And he is dominating as always in that car. What can't he do? He is going to run with the number 1 next year. And he is just perfect in this car. Him and Chip Ganassi built a dream team.
Yeah. And you think, and you go back to Chip Ganassi, think about some of the drivers that have driven for Chip Ganassi in the past here in the NTT IndyCar Series. But think about names like Alex Zanardi, Juan Pablo Montoya have driven for Chip Ganassi in the past. Think about Jimmy Vasser has driven for Chip Ganassi in the past. Those three names have done a lot over in IndyCar, and especially Juan Montoya and Alex Zanardi. When those two drove for Chip Ganassi, they had stellar careers. And I think now with Alex Palou, I think we're seeing that same kind of thing we've seen with Montoya and Zanardi. I think he's the next driver that we'll talk about driving for legendary Chip Ganassi for a long, long time to come, because he's won 2 championships, Josh. Yep. He could win several more before he retires. I mean, I don't know how many, but he could win several the way he's going. He could be on a course like what Scott Dixon has done in
1-6?
In 1-6. I mean, it could happen. It truly could happen.
Records to be broken, that's what we always like to see. And Dixon broke them. Power's broken them with the amount of pole positions. He had pole position 69 and 70 back at Iowa. We're taking the doubles as well, passing that of Mario Andretti, who had 68 career pole positions. Dixon's passed a number of race wins, and it's just so much. Can Pato start his journey as well? Gustav says hola as well, and everyone supporting Canapino. Yes, supporting Augustine Canapino, very high up there in 7th position, his best result of the year so far again. Remember, Canapino went well at the Ovals as well, so he's looking quite good on a road course here. George says, wait, it's the last Indy race for 2023? Yeah, it's the last IndyCar race? Yes, it is. This is it. This is the final one of the year. Round 17 of 17. All done and dusted after tonight. We've already crowned our champion. 2nd place with Newgarden dropping out has already been secured for Dixon. Fight for 3rd is pretty much not irrelevant now because it's all been changed around. So this is the last race And basically, the next 71 laps are just going to be for, if he can do it, Alex Palou's sort of extended victory lap, Adam, because he's, as we said, out front dominating. But I'm looking out for the two McLarens who might try and jump him in the pit lane.
I can see that happening. I mean, Felix look at Pato O'Ward. He hasn't won this year. Felix Rosenquist is leaving McLaren, and you know how bad he wants to win this year. So I could see one of those two knocking off Alex Palou. But we all know, Josh, passing Alex Palou, getting to Alex Palou, one thing. Passing him is another.
Should we learn more about the $1 Million Challenge? Let's head over to the president of Penske.
And race.
Oh, spin up! That's number 6. That's again. Unfortunately, Helio Castroneves having a spin down at turn 1.
See who wants.
Oh, there's contact between him and Benjamin Pedersen, and into the gravel trap goes Castroneves. Can he keep it out of there without the yellow? And he comes across the lead of Alex Palou. Oh, for the last race of this great champion. It really has been a messy couple of corners. He went wide coming out of turn 1, and then he hit the side of Benjamin Pedersen. Then he take on Alex Palou. I know Castroneves is desperate for a drive next year, but he's trying to merge with half the field. Wow. How daft was that?
Yeah. Took the word right out of my mouth, Ross.
That was, I hope we get a replay. So he goes wide at turn 1, and there's Dixon going through it, loses the rear of it, gets on the dust at turn 1, loses the rear, but he's already lapsed down, remember, Helio Castroneves, loops it back. Benjamin Pedersen comes through at some speed, and there's, it's going to be a nasty one here. Pedersen, I don't know what Castroneves was thinking there. He went to block Pedersen. That might be a bit of a penalty from the stewards. And then he comes back on dangerously and nearly takes out Palou. Look at that. Palou nearly went off the track. I don't know what Castroneves was doing there, Adam. I can't explain it because he deliberately blocked Pedersen and then came on so dangerously and then he took out Palou.
Yeah, Helio Castroneves is he's running the series for a long time, so he knows better than that.
I think it's a drive through that the stewards are looking at to give him, so we will double check that as well if he comes down pit road once more. But unfortunately, he has dropped to 22nd place in this race anyway. Scott Dixon is 19th. Pretty much wraps up the battle for second anyway with him being out of it. Palou's going to take such a lead of the championship now, more than the 50 points that were on offer. And Rosenquist is the first of the leaders to come into the pit lane to try and undercut that of Alex Palou. So let's go down to pit road and hear what they've got to say. The McLarens are in.
20 years ago, and he'll be in contention one way or another to win it.
First of the front runners are in. Here we go, Kev. Rosenquist coming your way.
He said once he got everything settled to move on to Meyer-Shank Racing, it has relaxed him. He's been free, finished second last weekend in Portland. Paul running second right now. This is his sticker set, the new set of alternates. What I'm hearing a lot of is everybody's going to run this in their second stint and then decide if they want to run it again later.
And more coming in with Stingray Rob, who is on the option tyre. He'll put on the black primaries. Ryan Hunter Ray's coming in. He was on the black primaries. He'll put on the sticker red alternative tyres on the sidings of the car. And a good stop there. But it has dropped Rosenquist down to 10th position. Gets out ahead of Ericsson, but that's a long outlap, Adam, to heat the tyres up, especially on sticker reds.
Yeah, and I think, what Felix Rosenquist did was smart.
Yeah.
Was very, very smart. And I think that's the way to go. If you want to beat Alex Palou, what Felix Rosenquist did, good job, Darrell McLaren. As we see, Pato O'Ward, his teammate, is now on pit road. So let's hit.
So
let's go to the pits.
On the drivers. So they started on the primary tires, going to a set of sticker primary tires again. So they will still have to run the reds later in the race.
Wonder where he blends.
Grosjean's in 2, Canapino and Ferrucci. Now, where does Palou come out of the pit lane? Grosjean gets out just ahead of Agustin Canapino, though, so their battle will continue on. Ericsson's on the inside and makes contact with Rosenquist, who ends up backwards with the puncture in turn 1. So does Marcus Ericsson, and the full course yellow will come out as the two cars come together for a little kiss on the nose at turn 1. Ericsson is facing the wrong way, full course yellow, and it's perfect timing for Alex Palou, who comes into the pit lane. Oh, and that's Rosenquist in the gravel. Rosenquist in the gravel with that puncture on the rear left. His day is done. And that was silly, absolutely silly. Didn't need to happen. Palou gets a free pit stop, so does Herta, so does Power. And, well, where do you go from this? It's worked out perfectly for the Chip Ganassis, and Herta takes the lead. He stayed out there, Adam.
Alex Palou has now a golden shot to win number 6 this year, and I think what Felix Rosenquist did, like I said about Helio, he knows better than to do what he did. I mean, and Marcus Ericsson gets going again, but Felix is last race for Aaron McLaren before moving over to Meyer-Shank next year. That's not the way he wanted to have his races go.
Poor Felix Rosenquist, started on pole position, was undercutting to try and take the lead. He ends up backwards in the gravel at turn 4. And now puts Herta leading, Palou second. Let's go over to Tom Gaymore for all the latest as we're under the 3rd caution inside the first 30 laps of the Grand Prix of Monterey. 66 to go. Tom.
Well, this has definitely got that last day of school written all over it, hasn't it? A few on the naughty step, a little bit of chaos here and there. Helio Castroneves has been in and amongst it. He almost took Alex Palou out, didn't he? But the big talking point, talking about Alex Palou, is did he get into pit lane? Well, let's have a guess. Now, Colton Herta's coming in now. This has obviously hurt him. It's hurt Will Power. There's going to be a little bit of sorting out come the order. I also want to see a replay of the Ericsson-Rosenquist incident, because that's completely ruined Felix Rosenquist's race now. He's being currently towed out of the gravel at turn 3. There he is. He's also got a tyre that's gone completely down on the left rear. That was an all-Swedish affair, so let's see what has happened down there. Lap 31 of 95. At the moment, the timing screen still has Alex Palou up there at the front. Will Power hasn't stopped, and he's going to need to stop because he'll be really light on fuel now. 30 laps since his last stop. Of course, that car has been running since the beginning, so they tend to run about 23, 24 laps under green here on a full tank. So with all the yellows, Power will be running really light, but stopping now, their race is scuppered. Felix Rosenquist will definitely be limping back to the pit lane, and Christian Lundgaard now up there in 5th place. He's stopped 4 times already. That has Marcus Ericsson, Nashville written all over that. 4 stops and in 5th.
Yellow flags are out then here at the Grand Prix of Monterey at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for the 3rd time. Alex Palou got very lucky with the pit stops happening under yellow. He continues the lead of the race without having to lose a single position. Power, Ilott ahead there. And this is the replay then. Now, was the pit entry closed? closed when Pato came in, Adam? That's the question. Pato's on pit road, he's on pit road, he's on pit road. He crosses the control line there, and I think he's safe. He's very much safe, Adam. And he gets over the line. Yeah.
He's safe. He's safe. That could have handed. Yeah.
Because, of course, you're not allowed.
Could have handed the victory to Pato, but.
Oh, here's Ericsson. So it was Ericsson lunging up the inside line of Rosenqvist. Rosenqvist was taking his normal line to turn 1, and Ericsson just sort of drove into the side of him, and then it's puncture for Rosenqvist. Ericsson stalled the car, and yeah, I don't think Rosenqvist did anything wrong there. That was on Marcus. What do you take, Adam?
Yeah, I agree with on Marcus. Oh. And then I think, with the puncture, Felix just lost the end, and then went into the gravel, and at least he gets on. But now he can go get more new tires.
And into the gravel trap backwards. He's made it back to the pit lane, has now left. So Rosenqvist is back up and running, but is 2 laps down on the field as things stand. Now, the full course yellow came out, and Pato was past the pit entry point. Now, to explain that, the pit lane entry closes when the full course yellow comes out, which means no one can come into the pit lane and make stops. They have to wait for pit lane to open. Herta had to come into the pit lane, as that's now going to give him a penalty, because Herta had to come through. So Herta had to take pit lane when it was closed. He should now get a penalty for fuel. So Herta could be in trouble. We'll keep an eye out for that. Rosenqvist will probably do the same thing as well. He'll get a penalty because he had to come down, but he will claim mechanical, so that's okay. Force majeure forced him in there, so he might just get away with it, but it could be a penalty. But Pato got lucky. That is the most luck he's had all season long, and he's had a couple of bits of luck at him. Just so much perfect timing to get a free pit stop.
Me, Alex Palo's had a season that I go back to the days of great champions. You think about Michael Andretti, you think about Juan Montoya and Alex Zanardi, I mentioned, who drove for Chip Ganassi in the past. Michael Andretti drove for Newman Haas Racing. Emerson Fittipaldi. There's so many great champions that have come through this series. So, Alex Palou this year has had a season that he'll remember for, I think, the rest of his life.
With you on that. I think he will. This is a great year. It's one of those you don't forget. The first championship, but a domination championship. It always lives in the memory. I was the best of the best that year. Power and Ilott, I think, half the field are coming down pit road. So pit lane is open. We'll send it down there and hear what we've got to say from the teams. Drivers in. We're ready. And we'll hand it down to NBC's pit road team.
He was doing so well. Got lucky. Benefited on the start to move up, and then had pace settling in, and now he's going to drop all the way back.
Colton Herta just drove into the back of Alex Rossi coming
Rossi
around
sliding,
that right-hander. And let's get down to Marty with Power.
There are a lot of frustrated drivers, Hinch. If you can't tell on the radio, Will Power was concerned he might not be able to make it actually to pit road. And we talked about that alternate stint for Will Power. He actually said the tires held on much better than he thought. Callum Ilott leaving pit road as well. He is on
Ericsson's hit the back of another McLaren.
Pushed back into a stall, stalled at leaving pit road. Wow, what a sequence of events for the 8 team and Marcus Ericsson over the last 10 minutes.
What's happened with the 7 as well there, Marty? He wasn't in. I wasn't sure if there was contact maybe, but bad to worse for Ericsson.
Go check, and Rossi was one of those who had to make emergency service on the last stop, so we'll go see what happened with him on this stop as well.
Well, this is just getting from...
working. Yeah, not going to plan there, for sure. I
think there was contact, yeah.
Rossi is released. Check this out from the Gainbridge Honda.
Is there any chance that the air inlet was damaged on the back of Rossi's car?
So it was Rossi who just got sort of swung round at the entrance to the pit lane. Herta, very quick reactions not to hit the back of him. He coming into pit lane. Yep, Herta goes in. Looks okay to me. Ericsson looks okay too. But it looks like there's a bit of damage actually on the back of the McLaren there for Rossi. McLaren, who had this day in hand, have lost track of it. And now the driver who started furthest back of any of them, Pato O'Ward, is in position in P2. It just goes from bad to, I don't know, bad to better to bad to better, Adam from McLaren.
Yeah, like we said, Pato O'Ward has not won this year. And you know how bad he wants to win. Like I've said, you know, getting to Alex Palou is one thing. But passing him, that's a different story.
Let's go down to NBC then and catch up with them before we go to green.
Rub your hands together. We're far from...
Sorry, that's not NBC. We're going to. I got told the wrong information. We're going for a break at NBC, but we're going to hand back over to Tom Gatemore.
So the question mark here is how many more caution laps will there be in the final 60 laps? And those that stopped last time around, could they get 30 laps out of 2 stints? It's unlikely. They're going to probably have to stop twice.
Yeah.
Again, if a miracle happens, they could do it maybe in one more stop, but that's very, very unlikely. And now you're on board with Felix Rosenqvist, who's had all his hopes and dreams shattered in the space of 2 corners by his countryman Marcus Ericsson. And now all eyes on his teammate. If you're supporting the Papaya and you're looking for an Arrow McLaren victory, Pato O'Ward now flies the Papaya flag behind Alex Palou. And if you look at how strong Palou has been today, how strong Palou is, period, and on the road courses, I think Pato O'Ward's going to have to get in and amongst it in these opening few corners on the restart to hopefully stick one on Alex Palou, and that will put the cat amongst the pigeons in terms of what the race looks like. Christian Lundgaard there, 4 stops I said. I was corrected in my ears by Neil Wooding, the voice of all, or a fountain of knowledge I should say, or wisdom. One of those stops was a penalty, so 3 pit stops, 1 penalty. That's his 4 trips to pit lane. He stopped 22 laps ago, so he is off strategy. He's due in soon. The rest, Alex Palou, Pato O'Ward, Romain Grosjean, Canapino, all on the same strategy. They stopped 6-7 laps ago, and then Marcus Armstrong in 6th. Stopped 17 laps ago. So there are a few strategies here. We think you run around 25 laps to a green flag fuel stint. So get your calculators out and start punching in how many stops you think your favourite driver has got before the end. And as always, it's a game of snakes and ladders, IndyCar. We've just seen that play out. And for the likes of Alex Palou, they were very lucky. So was Pato O'Ward. For Will Power, Colton Herta, less so.
You're back with us if you're watching on NBC. We are all set to go for this last 60 laps. We have 35 down, 60 to go. We've had 3 cautions in those laps. It is getting a little bit silly. 4 times through the pit lane.
Yeah.
For Christian Lundgaard, and runs in 3rd place, Adam.
Yeah, and looking at the Pacific Ocean and just before we've been going to the track, what an absolute beautiful day for the season finale, and I believe Joshua coming back to green, so over to you, my friend.
Away we go then into the last corner. Grosjean trying to have a look around the outside of Lundgaard. There's going to be contact before we even get out of the last corner. The 2. Oh, and then Francos Pedersen. Multi-car crash in the last corner. I think Power's involved. We've got Castroneves again with Pedersen. Round went one of the Young Kos Hollinger Racings. It must have been Callum Ilott. Santino Ferrucci's gone through the gravel before we even got to turn 1. And the yellow flag is out again. The start was called off. And, wow, just everybody dive bombing in the last corner. And Pedersen stalled it. And, yeah, Omi, just a comedy of errors like what we saw at Nashville.
Oh, this is just getting a bit ridiculous now. Everyone, another multi-car accident.
That's, what, 3 now, Adam, we've seen today already? It's getting silly.
Yeah. Like Tom Gatemore said, it's the last day of school, and everyone wants to you want to enjoy your last day of school, and the drivers today haven't enjoyed it. So we take a look here as we were coming to green. It was
it was power.
Crazy in the midfield, and
yeah, power hits the side of Pedersen, and Pedersen just loses it round. So yeah, it was all pumping and balling, but it was Power who hits around Pedersen, and Power also tags around the 77. It was Callum Ilott who got spun round, and then Castroneves once again today just ends up in the middle of an accident. He just wanders in. And that was Ferrucci just getting all out of shape and actually looking on to head into the wall, Adam, there.
It's not the way Helio wanted to end his full-time driving career.
Comedy of error. Oh, this is... oh, don't tell me McLaughlin hit Ferrucci. He did.
Many there all agree with that. Oh, no, there's Scott McLaughlin into Santino Ferrucci, so that's why Santino went off. So...
That front wing, by the way, of that number 3 Penske, it's going to be available to airplanes to put on the front of them because it's strong stuff, that. It's made out of those Hot Wheel cars as well. Like, you can survive an impact with a skirting board. Insane.
Yeah.
Right, yellow flag out again. Lap 38, Tom Gaymore.
That is the save of the season, and I'm sure that's caught his attention because you very rarely see cars in that sort of position up there. And the next point is when the wheels come off in IndyCar, they do it in spectacular fashion. And now it's cautions breed cautions, that famous saying that we say so often. And as I've said earlier on, it's got that last day at school vibe all over it, and all the while this is helping those that might want to try and do it on one more stop if they could, but I'm still doubtful if that is the case. But if we continue to have more and more laps under caution, don't forget last year we had 3 laps under caution here, and now
Wish that was the case.
The situation that we are currently in. Who was that just ducking into pit lane? It was Marcus Armstrong. Christian Lundgaard is in pit lane as well. Scott Dixon is. So Scott Dixon, when I talked about doing it on one more stop, Scott Dixon is going to stick fuel in it now. 20 laps since his last stop, so he doesn't need to stick fuel in that car. He is off strategy, and they are brimming that machine. I don't think he took tyres. I think he just took fuel. And so keep an eye on Scott Dixon. 40. So how many laps? Scott could do it on one more stop. The likes of Alex Palou, I think, well, they need to do it on 2 more. So this is starting to develop here, but it's very sketchy. It's very, very difficult to predict what is happening here. And all of the engineers and the strategists on the pit wall with all their technology and computers will be punching numbers into them to try and find out what strategy is the best one to go. But watch Michael Chip Ganassi and Scott Dixon. Can he do it on one more?
Welcome back to the Grand Prix Monterey. We're still under caution. Yellows breed yellows is that famous saying, as Tom Gaymore said. And now we are all set once more. Hopefully we're going to go green eventually. Pato O'Ward, Grosjean coming through the mix. The top 3, safety car still out there. Alongside me, Adam Inomi. In the box, cars coming down pit road. That's Scott McLaughlin, made his way back up into 5th place with well-timed pit stops. Now he's going to drop all the way to the back. Let's cross over NBC and catch up with the latest.
3 times. He is still in 14. The 14th, the Verizon Chevy of Power has been sent to the back for avoidable contact for turning Benjamin Peterson around, I think also collecting Callum Ilott as well.
Yeah, watch all the way at the back. You can see the bright red car, candy apple red car of Benjamin Peterson, and here comes Will Power. That's a pretty easy call for race control. Power locked up, sliding into the back of the 55 and getting him turned. McLaughlin had front wing damage and also has a back of the field penalty. It won't matter because he's got to make this extended service.
Surprised he did get a penalty for that, because like we said, it was a checkup situation on a flat-out straightaway. Surprise. We'll take another look here.
Oh, this is
This
McLaughlin.
is on the previous restart,
Well,
side by
yeah.
side with Santino Ferrucci. He's in the black car with the red rear wing end fence, and watch this.
Just whacks the back.
A little checkup in front of both of them caused Santino to lift.
Yeah.
I wonder, did it start with, is that Canapino in front of Marcus Armstrong?
It
maybe?
is. It's tough to tell. Somebody checked up, and that's...
There's McLaughlin coming out of the pit lane then with a new front wing. The previous rear wing has been sent to NASA. They're going to use it as part of the new space vehicles on Starship Enterprise as well. No need for deflector dishes, just to get that alloy on there, that'll be fine. Speaking of Star Trek.
Starship Enterprise. Hello, we talking Star Trek?
We are. And
it was talking Star. Ooh, so okay, let's go live. So I remember Star Trek. Star Trek: The Next Generation. I remember that show.
Picard, the last episode of Star Trek Picard aired on my birthday this year, and the nerves I felt. We had the Enterprise D, the entire Star Trek team for the Next Generation there, and all of a sudden people are getting assimilated left, right and centre. It was great. Definitely a favourite of mine. Love the Enterprise as well. All of them as well. I don't really... all of the Enterprises. All of them. Then again, I never really talked to the Enterprise.
Yeah, that was...
Go on.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, that was my generation too. So I grew up with... I remember watching Star Trek and Captain Picard and... well, those were the good old days when TV was good.
Cisco as well was on Deep Space Nine. Took a few years to get that show into it.
Yeah,
wow.
I remember Deep Space Nine. Yes.
Megan still refuses to watch. She's seen some, but she's not watched all of DS9 because she can't. I've said to her, she needs to. DS9, you've got to watch every episode. It's like a soap opera, but it's so worth it. By the end of it, you go, yes, wow, that is the best Star Trek because it's proper. Yeah. Anyway, we're getting off topic. But yeah, DS9 and Voyager, Enterprise. Not really a fan of Discovery. I can't really get into Discovery. It was good in the first few series, and then they just mucked around with it too much. The new one's good. Anyway, we're coming to a restart with the number 10 at the front of Alex Palou, who will boldly go where so many drivers have gone before to take the green flag. Once again, here, the 5th time today, we are going to attempt a start at the Grand Prix of Monterey at Laguna Seca. Out of the last couple of corners, Palou hits the gas. They're much cleaner this time. Into the last corner. A few of them going to think about a dive bomb. Looking at Devlin Di Francesco. Ferrucci trying to go around the outside. He doesn't get forced off this time. Green flag again at Laguna Seca. Look at Romain Grosjean. What could be his last race at IndyCar. He's right up there with the top three, and he's going to try for a move. Grosjean round the outside of the McLaren of Pato O'Ward at turn 1. He's gone alongside. Now it filters in. He goes on the grass. Loses 1. Loses 2 positions. Canapino and Malukas go through. Oh, it was bold of Romain to try. Shades of what we saw at the start of the year, but it was not going to hold it around the outside. He needs to have the traction out of him. He didn't have the traction.
Nope. And Romain Grosjean paid for it.
And now look at this from Agustin Canapino, the Argentine driver who's got a lot of fans and has been in the YouTube chat. All the fans throughout since the month of May have been flooding us here on YouTube and Twitch. He's now running, guess where? Oh, Grosjean on the inside of the corkscrew. He goes through on Malukas, and Francesco gets passed by Ferrucci. Both on the inside line at the corkscrew, the downhill drop of 6 stories. Beautiful move. And Agustin Canapino is now in 3rd position. Going for 2nd. Argentina, you can just about wait to erupt, and then you can go for it with cheering. He's closing on for his best ever result with 53 laps to go.
Look, we're not talking soccer here with with Messi, we're talking NTT IndyCar Series racing with rookie Augustin Canapino. So we know how popular soccer is in Argentina, but right now they're probably going absolutely crazy for the Argentine Augustin Canapino. He could shock everybody today and win his first career race.
Still going to keep it together as they attack back through, as there goes Marcus Armstrong having a look on Tom Blomqvist. Blomqvist, by the way, running in 9th position. The driver debutising for Simon Pagenaud, who had the 10 flips as well back at Mid-Ohio. Almost as scary as what we saw as well with Kyle in the NASCAR race, of course, Adam, a couple of weeks ago at Daytona. And he was able to drive the next week. Nothing for Simon Pagenaud. Long-term concussion symptoms keeps him out for the has kept him out for the last 5 races.
Yeah. And like we said earlier, our thoughts and wishes go out to Simon Pagenaud, and we really want to see him, in an NTT IndyCar sometime in the future. He is a well-liked driver from fans and other drivers in the paddock, and loved in the media as well. So hopefully he'll get back to 100%, and we'll see him back driving in 2024.
Won't be with Meyershank Racing. There's no room at the inn, so there's a couple more seats open in the IndyCar calendar that any team will be very excited to have a champion of the series and an Indy 500 champion at their side as well. Pagenaud won it a couple of years ago, of course. Did the road course, then swept the month of May completely with the Indy 500 race victory. Coming up, we'll be showing that all in 2024, of course. Every step of the Indy 500 once again will be live on JB Motorsports, including the April Open Test. We'll be covering both of those days live, and on all 9 practice sessions, qualifying for the 2 days, and the Indy 500 race itself once again in the month of May. Now, keeping on track with what's happening here at Laguna Seca, we've got 15 cars, I think, still on the lead lap. Correction, we've got 19 now on the lead lap. Powers regained, and it's not official until you get the TK selfie as well down there at McLaren as well. That's Malukas earlier on in the weekend, and he's now running out the circuit, of course, Malukas in 5th position. So TK, Tony Kanaan, no longer racing, retired from the Indy 500 this year. But he's still working with McLaren as driver advisor, and there's no better team to go to at the moment. I think McLaren really is getting its act together after a couple of rocky years. They're running P2 at the moment.
Yeah, I'll agree, Josh. You think about the history of McLaren in all forms of motorsports. Think back to the days of when Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost competed for McLaren in Formula One, how dominant they were. So yeah, I think Aaron McLaren there goes an onboard camera.
Herta, who's he hit? McLaren? He said McLaren.
Yeah, it looks like an onboard camera just.
Oh, it is. It is Alexander Rossi, and Rossi's gone through the gravel with a broken. Now Rossi's got a broken rear floor. So, and he was caused by Colton Herta, who is running to the back of him. He's broken the front nose cone of the car. He's broken the camera as well, but Herta in real trouble, and he hit the back of Rossi, and Rossi dropped down to 17th place. That's why I couldn't see it on the timing screen, and updated yet.
And NBC aren't happy with there goes one of their onboard cameras, and those onboard cameras, they do cost money.
Yeah, that's about 500 quid, please. Maybe about $5,000 for one of those onboard cameras, isn't it? It's a very expensive game.
Yeah.
47 of 95. We're halfway there. Let's check in with Tom Gamer.
Some star performances so far today as we hit the lap 47 marker. It's Alex Palou who continues to lead by 3 seconds now over Pato O'Ward. But look at Agustin Canapino there in third. Dave Malukas there in fifth for Dale Coyne. Santino Ferrucci as well for the Foyt car. We saw similar antics at Road America, another road course with high grip, newly repaved, and the Foyt driver Ferrucci went well there as well. And then Tom Blomqvist as well. It's worth a big shout out for him, the British driver running inside the top 10 ahead of Marcus Armstrong. And he's been diligently going about his work, Tom Blomqvist, in the Meyershank machine. His teammate Helio Castroneves has been in the wars. He's down in 14th, but Blomqvist looking good in 9th at the moment. Still a few question marks over whether or not those on the alternate strategy can save the fuel. Dixon there in 11th is the one to keep an eye out. He pitted 9 laps ago, and he should be able to go at least another 15 laps or more, which will take him up to 60-something, and then he'll have 30 to go to the end. He will need some yellows, I think, or some extreme fuel save, but we know if anyone can save fuel, or in the words of Alex Palou, make fuel, it's Scott Dixon. So keep an eye on him there. One or two others on a similar strategy there as well around him, but queries over whether or not they'll be able to get it done. Ericsson is one to watch.
We're halfway there in the Grand Prix of Monterey at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, and this final race of 2023 proving to be very dramatic. Romain Grosjean comes into the pit lane as we take on the attack once more. Sticker red's going on for Romain, and he'll leave very much out of sync with the rest of the field though, Adam, and he's got a lot of work to do for going forward.
Yes, he has, Josh. And something I want to bring up. Heather Street said on X or Twitter to Marshall Pruitt, seems fitting that since Nashville took Laguna's place as the finale next year, Laguna took Nashville's place as Crash Fest for this year. So, and Marshall responded, preach. So I will have to agree with Heather on that. Wouldn't you say so, Josh?
I would agree with Heather. This has been Crash Fest Laguna Seca style. It's been after a couple of years, let's be honest, of Laguna Seca being a bit dull. Today has literally exploded with drama, with intrigue, and we're loving every single second of it, and we're lapping up every Indy lap we get for the last time in 2023. And it is having Alex Palou as the race leader, which is just cementing the domination. He'll take 6 of the 17 races, including pole position at the Indy 500 on that weekend, because of course we qualify a week before we run. So it's just beautiful. Damage to the car for Colton Herta. He's been told that he'll have to change that at the next stop, so it will be a wing change for him. They haven't called him in yet with the black and orange flag, the meatballs, just yet, but he will have to change it going forward. Omi, I know you're around. I'd love to get your thoughts on the race so far as you're watching in the pit lane. You joined late, if you're around and you're able to. Hello, what are you making of the race so far?
I guess it's been a good one. It's had a lot of drama, but yeah, going really, really well. I'm just looking all over the place right now at everything. But yeah, good race so far. Enjoying it.
I am too. I think we're all in that position, just enjoying this last one of the year.
Yeah.
Armstrong.
Last thing got a bit sad now.
Say again?
Always ending off series, you're just so sad, especially when they're all at once.
I know. In the past week, we've ended Porsches, Formula 3, Moto E, and now IndyCar. So there's a lot. And Formula E, of course, ended in July. So that ended July, so that's been over.
Formula 3 is the hardest for me to actually say goodbye to every year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just looking forward to some
I'll agree.
simplicity for the end of the year.
Now, obviously, I've been upset that Monterey and other stuff have been ending as well. But, like, obviously, it's my first year watching them, so I'm kind of a bit like, well, for Formula 3, I've been watching it for years, so I'm kind of like, oh, it's already ending. Oh.
We've still got the Rookies Championship, Rookie of the Year to decide. Armstrong leads the way on 212 points to Canapino, who's 13 points back. So at the moment, it's whoever finishes higher, Armstrong or Canapino, to win the Rookies Championship. And I think that's a nice little fight to focus on, Adam, because both Canapino and Armstrong this year have been fantastic. But Armstrong needs to drop back another couple of points, because Canapino, for me, 13th place, third at the moment. Amazing from the Argentine driver.
Yeah, it's been a nice rookie battle this year between Augustin Canapino and Marcus Armstrong. Two young drivers coming in, you know, and I think, and all they can do is look up, you know, for next year. And the way up, Augustin Canapino is running now in third. I could, you know, he has experience on all the tracks, you know, that we've gone through this year. So the next year, they'll have some notes, you know, to look back on. And the same thing with Marcus Armstrong.
Yeah.
Doing a full year next year, so still have some notes, you know, and he and Augustin can figure out what tracks they need to improve on, what tracks, you know, they're good at. So, and I think, and to me, Augustin Canapino is going to win Rookie of the Year, and all I can do is look up, you know, for 2024 and going forward.
Into the pit lane came David Malukas, he too running off strategy ever so slightly, which has caught me a bit by surprise, to be fair. I thought he'd be going longer on the stints, but he's going to do another he's going to have to do another stop, isn't he? 43 to go. He's only going to get max 30 on that tyre, so he's got another run left in him. Oh, it's just getting messy as Canapino stays in third position. Ferrucci falls.
I'm just scrolling through servers, and I just saw... I just thought, looks like the IndyCar drivers watched too many PSGL and WR races. Without they've been driving.
That type of laid back, isn't it, at the moment from these lot? Just holding it, putting your hands up. We're nearly at the end though. 42 laps to go, so it's another it's another about 50 minutes of running out there on the circuit. Look at this though, from out there on the circuit, some NASCARs in front of everybody doing some things. Wow, is this Augustin Canapino? Yes, it is Augustin Canapino.
Yeah.
In Argentina, I understand.
In Argentina.
Yeah.
I think they have they do have a stock car series in Argentina. So when when IndyCar had an off weekend a couple weeks ago, Gus went down there to run in front of his home country. And he offered Scott McLaughlin to come with them, and Scott didn't go. It was nice to see Augustin, you know, getting run in front of his home country fans.
Disappointed he didn't go, to be fair. That's not fair. I would have loved it. He should have gone. Tom Blomqvist running in fifth, comes into the pit lane. Whoopsies. There he is, trying to go around the outside now of Marcus Armstrong. And into the pit lane he comes now. Blomqvist changing then late on. Let's get on pit road.
Armstrong and Scott Dixon are battling out. Those are the two cars that are on strategy B at the front. The 11 and the 9. Remember, Marcus Ericsson is a lap down in the red and white car. But we'll show you a strategy graphic to help make this a little more clear. Strategy A, that's Pato O'Ward, Canapino. They're going to pit any second now. Strategy B, these guys only need one more stop to make it to the end.
I mentioned the physicality side of things with Blomqvist because after Hinch painted that beautiful picture about the dumbbells, Tom has been very open and honest about how it's tough for him to get up to speed in IndyCar, no power steering.
That's just it. One of the biggest differences from the GTPs that he's been running is the power steering, which IndyCars don't have. So big physicality difference.
Dylan, what's happening with Ferrucci?
Well, let's listen to some radio and hear their game plan for Ferrucci. He runs 4th right now.
Do you want me to push? Try to hang with the 18, yeah. I want you to try to hang with the 18 and the 78. It's just too big a number for us to make it on one more, and we needed a lot of yellow.
And they're on the reds right now, too, so not desirable for going long and trying to stretch it. So Ferrucci will have to come in here in just a few laps.
So, Guy?
Yes, Santino Ferrucci will have to box and take another alternative pit stop line coming through at some point in this race. So it's not going to work out for him running in 4th position. Won't make it to the end. And now, look at that. Di Francesco, 8 seconds. VK, well, he's at the back in 23rd place. He's coming in as well. But Adam, this race hotting up. Don't know where to turn next.
That's right, Josh. Alex Palou
Not a few.
Alex Palou with number 6 this year. Looks like he can do it. He's checked out. He said, all right, guys, spread amongst yourselves. So this is my victory lap. You know, after clinching him in Portland, he won. This is my victory lap. This is my extended victory lap. You could sort of say, but
just literally sitting out the front, not letting anything bother him. He leads by 5.1 seconds as things stand. 5.2, I correct myself on, as Ryan Hunter-Reay comes into the pit lane, and he was running in 12th place. That releases Rossi up to 11th as well, so there's a lot of time coming in the pit stops now as we approach 39 laps to go in this race. Coming up on the 35 to take us to the end in a few minutes' time, and Pato O'Ward is coming in. So Strat A and Strat B to make it to the end on one more stop. It's going to be hard, and O'Ward wants to try and make this on one more. Oh, and he might just do it. There's two cars off. Devlin Di Francesco is off, and David Malukas is off in the 18. Now, can he get out of the gravel trap? And no, he can't. Full course yellow. It works perfectly for O'Ward to get back in strategy. Oh, McLaren are back in this. Malukas in the gravel, and the full course yellow is out. But does anyone else make it to pit lane? No. There's the command for yellow. And O'Ward gets incredibly lucky with a pit stop effectively free again, Adam, just like what happened with Palou.
Yeah, you took the word right out of my mouth, Josh. That O'Ward could have we've talked about that. That O'Ward has not won this year. That could have given the green light, to get around Palou.
I'm trying to work out how many laps. Now, that yellow flag was called when the refueling hose was still in. I wonder if the command was given, like they saw the accident, they knew it was going to go yellow, fuel him more, just to make sure, because it's 38 to go. They're now going to save fuel under this yellow, and let's see how it happens. So it's Devlin Di Francesco on the outside. Malukas will swing it. He's inside, becomes the outside. Oh, and it was Devlin Di Francesco understeering into turn 3 and just hits the side of David Malukas off into the wall and into the gravel. He'll get back in this race, but he will go laps down. And Adam, that was all Devlin Di Francesco's fault. Yeah.
Sure, Josh. Now we'll see if now the restart coming up will be a clean restart like we all want. We know what happened last time, so this has been quite a season finale, I will say.
Five yellows, Tom Gaymore.
There was going to be no more twists.
Going to adjust the pictures.
What has happened here? This is game on for Pato O'Ward and Arrow McLaren. Alex Palou, 29 laps since he last stopped, 30 for Agustin Canapino. They were right on the fringe of coming in. The pits will be closed at the moment. They should open when all the cars are safely back on track. and expect Pato and Canapino and Santino Ferrucci all to dive in because they have to. They absolutely have to. There'll be no fuel left in that tank, and they can't do it on one more stop because 35 laps will just be too much in terms of a big fuel number unless we see more in the way of cautions. You can't eliminate that, and you can just see from a strategic standpoint how much of a moving feast IndyCar is. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, and as I said earlier, in terms of snakes and ladders, we've seen there Pato O'Ward landing on the ladder, Alex Palou and Canapino and Ferrucci landing on the snake.
Palou is in. Palou is in. O'Ward takes the lead.
Those three drivers are in. They will tumble down the order. The likes of Pato O'Ward.
Oh, spinner in pit lane. It's Agustin Canapino. Agustin Canapino. Well, hang on. Is it Ilott? Is it Ilott? Because Canapino's in it. It's Ilott. Callum Ilott has spun coming into pit lane. He's blocked the pit entrance. And that is very confusing because that's going to also affect that of, I think, Kyle Kirkwood is stuck in. And he stalled it. I don't believe it. Ilott spins in pit entrance.
At Laguna Seca, this is peak IndyCar. It's organised chaos. But it's really getting interesting now in terms of what strategy is going to get it done.
All hell breaking loose here at the NTT IndyCar Series of 2023. We've just had a spinner in the pit lane of Callum Ilott. Alex Palou has come into the pit lane. Pato O'Ward is your new race leader. And Adam, it's changed again.
Yeah. And Pato O'Ward came in, like I said, I think now this race is Pato O'Ward's to lose. And right, we've mentioned it over and over again. He has not won this year. You know how bad he wants to win this season finale and go. So Pato O'Ward came in the pits. I think now the driver to beat, Pato O'Ward.
I'm with you. O'Ward has got it. What do you think, mate? Timed it well with the yellow like Palou did earlier on in the race, and now he's got the command at the front.
Yep, absolutely has indeed. But what is going on in this race? That's chaos, chaos, chaos.
It is Dodgems out there. Let's check in with NBC under the yellow.
Get another yellow. They may be able to make it without having a stop. That's the plan for Ferrucci. Save as much as they can and every opportunity they can and try to not be on pit road anymore.
Take a ton of yellow for that to work out for Canapino and Ferrucci, but it's possible, Div, based on what we've seen today. 22 laps of caution so far, and even under caution, we've had incidents with the 77 and the
Kyle Kirkwood, I believe. Watch, Kirkwood comes around. I think Kirkwood stops.
No, he stopped. I think.
No, here's Kirkwood's coming. Watch. Wait. Watch to the bottom.
Yeah, he just comes to a stop. I think Callum Ilott just lost it on his own on the power.
We saw, I think it was Rossi earlier. Look at the thumbs up from Kirkwood. Not too thrilled about this.
Hey, what are you doing there, Callum?
Any on for chalk ice, he's thinking down there. It's that hot.
On the weekend that was looking so promising for the two-time winner this year. Hey, Jeff. I know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say.
I mean, early on in this race, we see Scott Dixon with a penalty.
I knew
we hear
you were
Scott
going to
Dixon
go there.
furious on the radio. Scott Dixon at the back of the field with damage. Scott Dixon third can probably make it on just one more stop. Looking pretty good once again.
Yeah, I mean, Pato O'Ward's going to try the same thing. We know he's got to go to Reds for that final stint. I think he's the only car that hasn't satisfied the tire rules, if our information is correct. You have to run one set of the blacks and one set of the Reds in the race.
For those of you just turning on or joining us, let's get you up to speed with what has gone down on a very eventful Firestone Grand Prix. A somewhat questionable and controversial start, and we didn't even get through two corners without action. Check this out, multiple incidents. Scott McLaughlin, Christian Lundgaard, Then Yuri Vips, Graham Rahal, Marcus Armstrong. Check this out between Scott Dixon, Colton Herter, and Rinus VK. Watch this. Bang. Is that enough for you on the opening lap?
I mean,
Turn
hit
two?
DK so hard, knocked the wheel out of his hands. That's what led to the Dixon penalty. This is McLaughlin into the back of Benjamin Peterson. Pagenaud with the hip check to Felix Rosenquist in turn 11.
Yeah, a bit of a cross up there. That was the pass for the lead a little further down the road. Joseph Newgarden, after some damage in that first lap melee, loses it in turn 4. Mechanical problems continue for the 2-car.
A scoot ahead to lap 26. Watch this. Benjamin Peterson on the inside of Helio Castroneves, but it's not over because here comes race leader Alex Pagenaud. Just got through the narrowest of windows.
Lap 29 now, you see the two Swedish drivers, Marcus Ericsson on the inside, Rosenquist, your pole sitter on the outside. Contact that flattens the left rear on Rosenquist's car in the next corner, beaches it in the gravel, another yellow flag.
This is an exhausting amount of drama. Just lap 37. All kinds of stuff happening here. Will Power at the top of the screen in the back of Benjamin Peterson. At the same time, McLaughlin into the back of Santino Ferrucci on one of the fastest sections of the track. What a save from the AJ Foyt driver, Ferrucci.
Unbelievable. All right, if that wasn't enough, get ready because we got 34 more laps.
And we're coming to the restart once again. So, shape up. 6th time is a charm here at Laguna Seca. Green flag out and it's still a mess coming into the last corner. 4, 5 cars side by side. Grosjean on the outside. We've got Rossi in there too. And there's contact. Ferrucci's lost his front wing. And that is the 60 of Tom Blomqvist gone off. Green to yellow, number 7, everybody. It's still not getting off. Yellows breed yellows. This is one of the most chaotic races I've seen. 7 safety car periods. Ferrucci with no front wing is in the gravel. Think he might be out of the race. Come to a stop is the 60 of Tom Blomqvist just at the entrance to the corner. All chaotic. Not even everybody got through that last part of the track. And the yellows are out again, Adam. We can't even get through one corner. We can't even get to the green flag.
What did Tom Gilmore say? Cautions breed cautions? Yeah. That's about what we've had today.
Joe, this is helping though. This is helping Pato O'Ward save a lot of fuel. So this is helping O'Ward make it to the end.
Yeah.
So this is good. So Grosjean makes contact with Rossi. Rossi gets hit by McLaughlin. And that puts Devlin Di Francesco into the path of Blomqvist and Ferrucci, who just came in out of nowhere. So it was a lock-up. I can't see where it is. Yeah, it's Ferrucci who just hit the side of Blomqvist. And it was all chaotic in that part of the track, wasn't it? Try and make it through. Just Constantinoed up. Yeah, and Ferrucci went over the back of... Was that Pagenaud he went over? I think it was, you know. I think it was Ferrucci. I think Ferrucci went over the back of... It was! Ferrucci went over the top of Alex Pagenaud. There's no damage to the champion. But wow! Ferrucci getting brake checked by Pagenaud and no damage on the back of that Chip Ganassi. Wow!
Shocking to me. O'Ward, golden opportunity now to take his first win of the year and give the call to Colton Herta, who's sitting in 4th place. He's won here 2 times in the past, so you know how bad he wants to win. In a special livery honoring his dad. Hey Josh, you want a piece of IndyCar?
I do. I'll have it. Me here. I'll put it on the wall behind me in the commentary box. I'll have it. Omi, George has said, is this an open lobby or something? It does look like it, doesn't it? It's literally just like a free-for-all.
Absolutely. It does look like some kind of open lobby
Blomqvist is out.
right now.
Blomqvist is out. Broken front suspension. Blomqvist is out of the race. So he's done. I'm losing track of how many
drama is going to be in this place.
7 cautions. 7. Right, let's turn it back to Tom Gaymore as we're getting ready for some pit stops. Are we? No.
Pato O'Ward able to do? Well, he has to stop for tyres.
Officials said go
has
back.
To stop for tyres. So I think everyone's going to do it on.
They're
on
in.
One more stop
Armstrong,
now.
Dixon, Herta, Castroneves, McLaughlin,
But
Power,
can Marcus
Rosenquist.
Armstrong, Scott Dixon
More pit stops, please.
Filter to the front, that's the key. And when does Pato O'Ward stop? Because at the moment, Marcus Armstrong, Scott Dixon, Colton Herta, Helio Castroneves, Christian Lundgaard, they're all going to hit pit lane as they are now.
Good stop this could be for Armstrong.
Pato O'Ward's going to stay out.
Well, he may as well his field to the end.
And following him through is Alexander Rossi. So it's a Papaya 1-2, but Rossi 26 laps since
Dixon
his
and
last stop.
Armstrong.
Grosjean into third, 16 laps since his last stop.
Dixon wins off pit road from Armstrong.
Running on fumes, or certainly Alexander Rossi is. Just trying to work out what is going to happen next as we're going to head back to the NBC team. Hopefully they can shed some light.
Hey, there's been a flurry of pit stops, and most notably Scott Dixon and Marcus Armstrong of Chip Ganassi Racing, the Penske teammates of Power and McLaughlin. They stopped as well, but let's show you. Here you go.
Green car is Armstrong. He was ahead of Dixon on that alternate strategy. The number 9 comes to his box. It's going to be close between the teammates. This race team, excellent on pit lane. They launch Dixon. Watch the green car, Armstrong. And good old Dixie Dust sprinkling.
How about that? So a day that has had penalties, controversial calls for him, increased temperature from the 6-time champion and frustration. And he's just put himself and his team yet again in a magical position to potentially win this race.
It's how he won Indy GP, and that number 9 crew, they are second in the standings in the Firestone Pit Stop Challenge, Pit Stop Performance Championship. So they're doing what they do to get them out ahead of the 11, which could effectively, I mean, this could be the battle for the win right here.
In the background, the Sirius XM Honda for Meyer-Shank Racing, Tom Blomqvist, still in the hands of the AMR safety team.
That Blomqvist car was damaged unexpectedly. He stayed in the car. The reason it's huge is it extends this yellow. It allows Pato O'Ward to save precious fuel and maybe make it to the end. But I think Pato O'Ward, Marty, is going to need some more help from the flag stand.
Yeah, and here's the issue for Pato O'Ward. So they told Alex Palou a moment ago they almost pitted there for the 10 car to get on the same strategy as their teammates and be able to make it to the end, which the 9 and the 11 believe they can make it to the end. But the 10 car here, with all this caution, they think they're going to be very close to make it to the end. It's going to be a fuel save for Alex Palou, but they think they should be able to make it to the end. The problem for Pato O'Ward, he's sort of in that same group. He pitted around when Alex Palou pitted. But here's the issue. Hence, you mentioned it a moment ago. They have not taken their alternate tires today. So even if there's more caution and O'Ward could make it to the end on fuel, they have to pit to satisfy that requirement. So could that be the factor in why Pato O'Ward would not win the race today? He has control of the race right now, but they're going to need some help.
Will Anderson, his race engineer, and Zach Brown, the CEO of McLaren Racing, there on the stand discussing how this is going to play out for the young Mexican driver who has not put a foot wrong today. There's the boss. He's hoping for the first IndyCar win this year for the team.
I'll tell you, speaking of McLaren, I'm a little surprised Rossi did not pit on that yellow. Rossi's last pit on lap 38, so he certainly is going to have to come in pretty soon.
He is, and I believe he's the only other car that has not satisfied the tire requirements. So he's going to have to go to those sticker Firestone Reds.
I could say the same for Grosjean. I don't think he can make it to the end.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Oh, this is going to have to be another lucky thing for yellows now, isn't it, again, Adam? This is just going to get so confusing about the tyres that they haven't used. Only used the blacks, not the reds. This is going to get insane to complicated very quickly. Who's the net race leader then? Is it Grosjean? It's got to be Grosjean, isn't it?
So,
Grosjean started on blacks. Grosjean's fine.
We are now in what we call fuel saving mode, folks. So, if you're watching this and you're a Pato O'Ward fan or a Rossi fan, Grosjean, we want him to save as much fuel as possible. But they have not come in, to go on. But they need to get on their other set of tires, to come.
Yeah.
So, you want craziness? Last couple of, we're about to go into crazy mode, folks.
Trying to work out every sort of situation I can in my brain about what tyres they've been on in this race, because it doesn't tell you on the computer. It only tells you what tyre they're on now. But we're getting ready to go green, so either way, this could be quite an interesting run around.
Let's hope we keep it green.
Oh, well. 29 laps to go. Restart number 8 of this race to go green. It's been one of those days here at Laguna Seca. Can we get it through this time? Green flag's caught very late. Look at Grosjean going to the inside already for second position, and he muscles his way through. Gets a poor exit. We are green. Oh, it's contact again. Ericsson and that's Armstrong, and we've got another yellow. Another yellow at the last corner. That's 3 in a row now. We've tried to restart this, and that's Ryan Hunter-Reay taking second place as the caution is called. Ryan Hunter-Reay in second position. The rider who's come into a place as well, the number 20. And that's Ericsson and Armstrong stuck on the track. The car's got into anti-stall, and guess what, folks? Yellow number, what was it, 8? Yellow 8 or yellow 9? Yellow 8. Number 8, yeah, there we go. Oh, hang on a minute. Ericsson's refired it. He might be able to get out of there. Is Armstrong get the engine going? Well, Ericsson gets out of there. Yep, very good, nicely done. No, Armstrong stalled it. Okay, never mind then. So, caution number 8, please. My God.
Is there some kind of record or something?
I'm trying to think about how many records we've had. We've had, I think, what, 13 to 14 cautions in IndyCar before? I remember an oval race once where we had loads, but Nashville had 10 on a street course. But
yeah, I remember that.
Are we trying to beat that then? Are we going to try and beat that number then?
No, we don't need to beat that. No.
Well, they want to beat it. They probably want to beat it.
Yeah. The Indy 500, I remember one year, had like, what was it, 13 yellows, something like that? 14 at one point?
Yeah.
Got really insane.
Yeah.
But another yellow.
Oh, yeah, for all you folks.
They're having to fuel the safety
that are watching in the UK.
I'm sorry, Adam. I'm going to have to cut you off. I've never seen this before. They are having to refuel the safety car. The safety car is currently not on the track. They are having to refuel the Honda Civic Type R safety car in the pit lane. It's run out of fuel. I have never seen that in my life. The safety car is having a pit stop. I'll throw back to you, Adam.
For all you folks that are watching right now, it's currently 10:07 in the UK for Josh and Omi. So, hopefully you two are doing okay, because I know you two are probably getting pretty tired.
Yes.
And
tired for the morning.
I will have a lion tomorrow, I believe. Oh, and it all got messy in there as well, and everyone was concentrating into each other. It was another
Let's
one.
hope someone doesn't ask me to commentate tomorrow.
Yeah. So Armstrong gets spun round. He gets hit by Ericsson. Pedersen hits the side of, I think that's going to be Christian Lundgaard who gets involved. And it just all goes chaotic again. Right, NBC, save our voices.
45 when we were on board with him a little bit earlier.
Got to think about co-team owners, Ricardo Juncos and Brad Hollinger. They must have a huge smile on their face. Their team, they're the newest team to IndyCar, by the way. They're running in 6th and 7th at the moment, Marty. What an effort from those guys.
Yeah, terrific effort for Juncos Hollinger Racing to be able to be up front here. 27 to go at the final race of the year at Laguna Seca. I want to add one more car to the mix, and they think they can make it all the way now. How about the champion, Alex Palou, sitting in 8th, just in front of his teammate, Scott Dixon. He has to save a little bit more fuel than Dixon does, but they just told him from the timing stand, we're pretty sure we're good to go to the end of the race.
Makes sense.
Wow. You know what we say at this stage, folks? Your guess is as good as ours.
Absolutely. Pick your favorite color, spin the wheel.
Okay.
What a way to finish the year.
It does make sense. I think everybody's good on fuel now. So
yeah.
Grosjean's been let back through to second, Adam. Grosjean could Could Romain Grosjean win the last race of the year?
Yes. Good is the word. Will he?
He should have won the season opener.
That's the top. Yeah, yeah.
Got taken out by Scotty Mack at the pit lane, didn't he? I remember that one.
Yeah. I remember that too, Josh. But that's called. NBC mentioned it. We have to give a call to Juncos Hollinger Racing because both their cars are in the top 10. Dustin Filipino and Colin Ilott, and they're a small team, but they're up. They're in the top 10 of the season finale. To me, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I'm impressed by them more and more. They've been shining this weekend. Agustin Canapino, Callum Ilott. The race, they've come alive. And as you say, 6th and 7th at the moment. Their best results of the season, they are on track for. Tom Gamble, is that you we want to talk to? No, it's not. I thought we were going down there. It's still NBC's feed. So, lap 70 of 95. 25 laps to go here at Laguna Seca in the last race of 2023. It's certainly been one of the most dramatic of the year. And we've got leaders coming through with O'Ward, Grosjean, Hunter Ray. 3 names at the front we didn't expect. Rossi's up there, Di Francesco. Pallou's in 8th and good to the end, but will we get a green flag to the end is the question we want to know. So many laps spent under the full course yellow. This is our 8th caution of the night, if you're just joining us. Caution number 8. As we look at Palou there, who's already had contact in this race with Ferrucci. Watching on. I think we need to move. We need to have a... Go on, Adam.
George asked a question in the chat, so he asked, what's been the worst day for you to ever commentate? So I'll start with you, Josh.
Worst day for me to ever commentate? In terms of... I've commentated on a lot of fatalities, unfortunately, so they go up there. Jason Pasquier in Moto 2, I was commentating on that session when he was killed. The 2013 Le Mans 24-hour race as well. We had a tragedy there. Japan, 2014. Gio Bianchi, that was a bad day. I think, and there's been a few personal ones where there's been like, I'll tell you what, actually, the worst, that's an easy one actually for me, and it's a personal one. Worst day I've ever had to commentate in my life was 14th, 15th and 16th of November in 2019. The Brazilian Grand Prix weekend, and I'll explain why after this because we've got 2 cars in the
Devlin Di Francesco. I
More
think
cars in the pit
Grosjean's
lane.
going to have to stop too. Marty?
Yeah, not much choice here for Alexander Rossi. He had not pitted since lap 38. Had to come down pit road here with just 24 to go. He can run pretty hard from here to the end, and finally putting on these sticker alternate tires for Rossi, who the handling of the car has actually been pretty good. Marcus Ericsson said after that contact on the racetrack, if you see the drag race off pit road, Ericsson said the car's not too bad actually after that contact with his teammate out there, Marcus Armstrong.
So a few cars diving into the pit lane are changing up. Yeah, so 14th, 15th and 16th of November 2019, the worst days I've ever had to commentate on because it was the Brazilian Grand Prix weekend. I didn't commentate on practice. I was too busy. I was at my nana's bedside when she passed away during the evening, and the Saturday we all came back home. And there was qualifying, and I was doing the YouTube shows at that point, not the live stuff, but they were all done. So to distract myself, I went into the commentary box and did the qualifying session, and then the next day I did the race. But that race, it sounds like there's nothing wrong with me in that race, but it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, to switch off and commentate on the race because I wanted a distraction. I wasn't going to do the race, but I was persuaded to do it as a distraction, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And the final race of that year as well, a couple of weeks later, was hard because the next day was her funeral. So That was sort of the end of 2019. It was quite a hard period to commentate on for family, personal reasons as well. But yeah, definitely that Brazilian Grand Prix weekend, I always remember as for many reasons. But yeah, it was mainly because of family, personal reasons, as I said. But yeah, that was, I think, the hardest thing I've ever had to do, was to sort of switch off and commentate. And it did help, but it didn't. It helped me forget for a few moments, but it didn't help at all, if you know what I mean. It helped me. It helped as a distraction. It didn't help the emotions. Anyway, yeah, that's the hardest day, if you wanted to know. Paintings going on back there. Yeah, that's a lovely painting actually going on there. I wonder what's going to be in the paddock there. I think it's Alex Palou, although there's a lovely painting of a car coming on. Fantastic artwork going on right now. That's in Park Ferme as well. So beautiful going on. Yeah. Omi, Adam, any horrible days you've had to commentate on?
Let's see. For let's go.
I don't want to let you go first.
I guess for me it was I mean, I haven't done a lot of these, so I have to probably a NASCAR race at Talladega first.
Yeah.
For some reason, since we all know how crazy Talladega is in NASCAR, and
we're coming to the
hold
green.
your breath, time.
Give us it in a second, because we're coming to the green once more as the two Juncos Honda races go side by side. That's Canapino and Ilott side by side. Look at that, Grosjean's going for the lead. Well done, everyone. We're green flag racing again, and Grosjean's going for the lead, and Grosjean takes the lead into turn one. Romain Grosjean makes an overtake. Oh, the two Juncos Honda Racing nearly make contact. Canapino's forced wide, so's Ilott. Through goes Dixon, and Devlin Di Francesco's in trouble. And it's all changed at the front. But Romain Grosjean leads at Laguna Seca in what could be his last ever IndyCar race. This might get him a drive. And that is Rosenquist falling off the track once more. He's been pushed off by Will Power. And there goes. This is, look, who's fuel saving and who's not. Contact. Palou touches the side of McLaughlin. It touches the side of Devlin Di Francesco. And up into third place has gone Dixon. Up into fourth place has gone Callum Ilott, who runs wide. And McLaughlin goes through, coming into the corkscrew. Everyone is lifting and coasting to try and save fuel. But Romain Grosjean leads at Laguna Seca. Back to you, Adam.
About Romain Grosjean, he hasn't had a really successful IndyCar career, so if he were to win today, I think that's what he would need to boost his career, because he hasn't won for a long time. So
Yellow.
I think if he were to win,
Contact! Spinner!
that'd be good.
Multiple cars off in the middle of the pack. Is everyone going to avoid them? Yes. But is that Herta? I can't tell. It is!
Yes, it is Herta.
Colton Herta is in the barrier. He has got taken out. I was holding my breath. I didn't think it was him, but it was. And another caution, number 9. This is Mombo caution number 9, and it's Colton Herta who's caused it. He's into the gravel, and with 21 to go, this could really affect Grosjean now, because O'Ward's going to fuel save like mad. And was that caused by Castroneves losing control again? I want to see that replay, but Herta might get pulled out of that. But 21 to go, let's take a look at it. So it was one of the Meyer Shanks who come up the inside line, losing the rear. I can't tell what number it is on the screen. It's a bit, I think it is Castroneves. So locks up. It is Castroneves. Is it Castroneves? I don't want to throw shade just yet. It could, is it the 06 or the 60? I can't tell. 06, it's Castroneves. It was, I was right. Castroneves. What? He's been involved in everything today. takes out Herta. Castroneves is literally saying goodbye to the field by punching everybody in the face.
He wants to get a new record, doesn't he? He wants to create a new record for the most cautions.
10 cautions here then. 10 cautions. The perfect 10. Right. We're going for a break. Top Game More, take it away.
Well, the cautions keep coming here at Laguna Seca, and I have to say that was very poor from Helio Castroneves. I'm not sure what he was thinking. Brain fade there from the experienced Brazilian. And you'd have to think, with his experience and expertise, he wouldn't be making mistakes like that. He's made 1 or 2 mistakes this year. He's made 1 or 2 mistakes today. But the race now, what can we expect? 27 laps since Grosjean last pitted. Well, he's not going to go another 20, so once they open the pit lane, I would expect to see Grosjean in soon. He was desperately trying to open up a gap. For Pato O'Ward, 18 laps plus 20, well, they're just not going to be able to do it without a stop. So, and he needs to stop anyway for the alternate tyres. So here we go, Grosjean and Pato O'Ward into pit lane. That frees up Scott Dixon. I don't think Scott Dixon needs to do much in the way of fuel save. I think Scott Dixon can go to the end now without having to save much fuel. So he is going to be able to push on. And how much push to pass does he have
85.
left? He's still got 85 seconds, so Scott Dixon looking really strong here, and so is Scott
Grosjean got past.
Place.
O'Ward got out ahead of Grosjean in the pit lane.
A turn for Pato O'Ward and Romain Grosjean, forced to pit with 19 laps to go. That changes the complexion of the race and their respective races.
Damn.
As Scott Dixon and countryman Scott McLaughlin cycle to the top, followed by Callum Ilott. Still under caution here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, but for everything that this 43-year-old 6-time champion has been through, he finds himself in the lead of this race.
I'm not surprised at all. The most chaotic races favor Scott Dixon. And if you look at this number 9 PNC car, there's been a touch early in the race, but there's not a mark on this thing. It's pristine. He does it all the time. Over 20 years of genius. And how about Hugo's Hollinger? 19 laps to go, and their 2 cars, Callum Ilott and Agustin Canapino, run 3rd and 5th.
Unreal.
Excellent job.
Unreal. While facing the wrong way on pit lane.
Ilott was backwards. I forgot that.
It could be a...
Canapino's got some wing damage too, so he's going to be nursing that. You look at the right front wing of
Herta's out.
As Colton Herta and the Gainbridge boys go back to the garage.
We got word there was actually damage to the gearbox that had already occurred. That is part of the reason why he had a slow run off of turn 2 to allow Helio to get the run up the inside. So let's take a look from onboard Helio's car. Right up in front there, that's Cole, and again, slow off the corner because of the gearbox issue.
Yeah. Madness.
The spin and continue for the 06.
Oh boy, it's been one of those days, unfortunately, for Helio Castroneves in his final full-time IndyCar ride.
And guys, Pelot up there in 4th. You know, when he got sort of hosed by that yellow, controlling the race, hosed by the yellow, back down in the high teens. I was about to say, look, we talked a lot about that best worst finish stat that you love, Townsend. 8th position in the opening race at St. Pete up to today has been the worst finish here. And I thought, oh, we're finally going to break that record.
And Marty, let's not forget, Pelot got absolutely slammed from behind too on a restart. So amazing job to hang in there.
It's just been incredible, and the brakes continue to follow the 10 teams' way with all these cautions. Remember, he pitted at 59. His teammate Scott Dixon pitted 5 laps later at 64. They told Pelot a moment ago that you can go hard all the way to the end with 18 laps. The tough part for Pato O'Ward, who is now cycled out in 13th position. I think with all of those cautions, Hinch, they were in a position where they could have possibly made it to the end as well. They pitted on lap 57 for their stop before this most recent one, but we talked about it earlier. They had not taken the alternate sticker tires that you were required to take. So O'Ward had to pit more for tires than anything else. Went from leading the race and in control now to 13.
Turn it up to 11. Restart number 11 coming your way. Will we get further this time around? Dixon leading. We're running out of drivers. Only 15 left in this race. Green flag. Away we go once again. Now it's going to be a fuel save. 17 laps to go across the line. Dixon, McLaughlin, Ilott, Pato, Canapino, Lundgaard, Power, Rossi, Armstrong, Hunter Ray, the top 10 as they enter turn 1. Can Ilott take a win? Is Dixon going to control it? What do you think, Adam? There's just too much on the line. Oh, a little bit of contact there. And that's Power and Lundgaard, and that's getting a chop up there as Lundgaard gets pushed back. Power goes through, and he's dropped back now into the clutches of Rossi, who's going to slip back through on the inside line at turn 4.
I think it's Scott Dixon's race to lose at the moment. But give a call to Callum Ilott in third, and his teammate rookie. That's right, folks. Rookie Agustin Canapino sitting in 5th. I say, Uncle's Hollinger Racing, they may be a small team, but they've got 2 quality drivers in those Indy cars.
So Dixon from McLaughlin by 0.8 of a second. Ilott coming in, Pato, Canapino, and then it's sort of that's it because it's only 4 together. So they've dropped Canapino by 4 seconds in the opening lap. So they can see who's fuel saving and who isn't fuel saving, which I suppose is a good strategy to maintain between the two. But Pato wants this one back. Power's up the inside, getting ahead of Agustin Canapino. Rossi's going to go through as well and nudges him out of the way. And Canapino, remember, as we heard from James Hinchcliffe, has got wing damage. And it's visible now, so that's going to be causing him a lot of problems. So Canapino, unfortunately, will be dropping back for the rest of the race. He's got that wing damage. Explains why there's already 5 seconds between Pato and what was Canapino, now Power. Just dropped it too much. So then, Omi, what are you making then with 16 laps to go?
At least we're still green for the moment. Well, let's see how much longer that lasts. Lap 80 out of 95 as well. So yeah, good so far. But let's hope we keep it green.
Through the corkscrew. There's your race leaders. Just going to leave the top of the picture. That is Power closing them down already. There's Dixon. McLaughlin, remember, he was second in the start of this race. He got pushed to the back at the opener. He's managed to fight his way through with 5 pit stops. He's now back in second place. That's how chaotic the Laguna Seca race has been. And he's under pressure from Callum Ilott and the world champion for this year, Alex Palou, in IndyCar, who's in 4th position. Anybody make a guess? I have no idea. But as Ian Birch would say, 15 laps to go. Anything can still happen.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, right. I just come across something on YouTube.
Okay. What was it?
Well, an IndyCar live stream.
Is it us?
No. Actual TV pictures.
And yet we get blocked for TV. We get blocked for nothing. Wow.
Well, one sec. Let me check how long this has been going on. 2 hours and 50 minutes. Okay, that's right. This is the interview part. So they've not been blocked, and everyone can see the whole race for free with good quality on ESPN.
Shush. Everyone else jump ship.
Oh yeah, stay with us.
That's bad. That is really bad. And we get blocked for nothing. Well, that's just customer loyalty on YouTube, isn't it? Pleasure to have you all here watching along with us. As Dixon, McLaughlin, Ilott, 1, 2, 3 in this amazing Grand Prix of Monterey. And now Palou's coming in, so it is 4-way fight. But Dixon, I think, just might hold on to this one, Adam. He's holding it together nicely.
Yep. It'd be Scott Dixon's 3rd win of the year. He's won at the Imus Road Course, and he won at Gateway, so finishing 2nd in the points this year. I think I could say Scott Dixon has had a good year this year.
And look at Ericsson now, starting to close in further back. Wanted to take a little bit more time to have the breath. Where is he now? A lap down actually. He's fighting further back, so Ericsson's out of it. Never mind. I know he got spun round, but the lap traffic hasn't been allowed to release itself, so it's just sort of playing in the middle of the mix of everybody, which isn't nice really at all. It's just sort of all flying around a bit, but Dixon's pulled out 1.7 seconds to McLaughlin, so keep your fingers crossed. As Adam said, he's deserving of a race win. It'll be race win number 3 of the season if he can do it. Rossi P6, Lundgaard in 7th as well. Those on the lead lap, 15 on the lead lap. I now understand. Less than that. Oh, no, still 15. Yeah, 15 on the lead lap. So many people retiring and coming back into this race. It's getting confusing. Newgarden apparently still circulating, but he is on lap 78. We're on 83, so there's a lot of difference between them. I watched that picture, but listening to you guys says that one Nigerian's formula. Pleasure to have you with us. And if Grosjean wins, I'll cry ugly tears. Never mind. Trash and Jody Strat once again ruins Grosjean's race. Nice job, Colton, as well. FFS as well for going into the wall. So, yeah, not too great. This is through the field without his 4th place, but Adam, it's been a magical IndyCar season, and we're having a magical end to it as well. 10 cautions so far, 12 to go, and it's going to be Scott Dixon who might take the race win. Unbelievable season.
Yeah, Josh. We took, looking at some of the highlights of this IndyCar season. We saw Joseph Newgarden win the Indy 500.
Sorry, Adam. Pillow's taken 3rd position away from Ilott, but he's done it nicely, so back to you.
Yeah, Alex Palou has won 5 races this year and won the championship. Rising Will Paris not won a race this year. Pato O'Ward has not won a race this year. Scott McLaughlin's had a really good year this year, so it won't be long until it'd be nice to have a little bit of a break for the teams. They can go enjoy themselves, spend time with their families, and before you know it, the 2024 season will be here.
Gets underway in early March, of course. There's Canapino's broken front wing. He's doing amazingly well to stay in anywhere near the top 10. He's 8th at the moment. Highest he's been is 2nd. Average running position 6.6 up there on the track. It's like we're into the last... Oh, and Carl Kirkwood has come into the pit lane. Now that must be for a splash and dash, so Kyle could not make it to the end. Expect a few of the cars to be doing that who didn't pit under the yellows, expecting more yellows, and then we're like, oh, it's not going to work out. So the race has calmed down a bit, as it usually does towards the last bits, as Canapino gets passed by Armstrong into 1. It goes a bit deep, and Canapino goes, okay, I'll take that back through the inside line. So Canapino stays in 8th, and Armstrong stays in 9th. But that wing damage now going to be causing problems, as you can see, Omi. And you went 0 for it as well. So it's a negative drag.
Nice up and under. Yeah, nice up and under there as well. So yeah, no. So yeah, starting to calm down a tiny bit, but we need it after that because well, we don't want to hit any record for most cautions. So let's just continue on like this, everyone.
Already had 10, as we've been pointing out as well. The perfect 10. So let's hope it stays like that. 11 starts in total. As we're now seeing through the field, that's further back. There is Ryan Hunter-Reay. Once again, started 25th, now running 11th, highest was 2nd. So many people have been leading this race. It's been so unpredictable. The field has literally been a yo-yo today. It's up and down as well.
Another weird race.
Yeah. I'm moving
I was thinking it was like a roller coaster.
Yeah. To the right out of my mouth. Right out of my mouth, Hannah. Right out of my mouth. Up and down, side to side like a roller coaster. Where's Lando Norris? Somebody get Lando Norris.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a Taylor Swift song or reference I can do, and I'm struggling to think, because Grosjean makes some lunge on the inside there as well, getting ahead as well of one. Oh, I can't tell who it is at the moment. It's not stinging me well, but I can't see where Grosjean is on the timing screen. It is stinging me well. Okay, so there's that traffic there, so that's getting out of the way. But what an amazing race it is going to be. 10 to go at the moment. Dixon leads by 3.7 seconds down to McLaughlin, and that is a slow-moving Devlin DiFrancesco, who is jumping up and down in his car. So I wonder if there is some problem for Devlin DiFrancesco that we need to worry about. It looks like he's crabbing a bit, Adam. I wonder if he's got suspension damage.
I don't think so, Josh. I think he's just going at his own pace at the moment.
Fingers crossed.
Killing in the last race.
I don't want another caution. Just fingers crossed for no more cautions, please. Just let it go.
No
to the
more
end.
cautions.
Yeah.
Oh, just let it go again.
Well, you might... I thought of one, don't you worry. Dixon very much is the mastermind. Perfect strategy call once again from the number 9 Chip Ganassi team. He's holding it together. Armstrong gets ahead of Canapino. Next up, it's O'Ward to go through and get back past him. O'Ward on 10th position. Pagenaud's going to finish on the podium. He's going to have a battle with McLaughlin. Dixon can coast now, save fuel, and have this one in the bag, ready for 2024. You're only as good as your last race. If you're not the champion, you need to be a race winner. Canapino was so slow coming into the corkscrew that we nearly saw O'Ward go over the top of him and just jump over the corkscrew section. No gravity, just straight over.
Well, luckily it's all calming down here in this race. Finally.
I don't know about you lot, but I'm looking forward to Josh T's frantic messages in the Discord when he realised he's missed the last race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing him too, Josh.
Well, maybe he went to sleep because he has school tomorrow or something.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. Definitely. Chance.
Oh no. Oh. Is it? Are you going to behave now, Google?
Google doesn't want to behave all the time, does it? Like yesterday.
It's coming back on me a little bit. Google's having a problem again. It always does this. Last couple of minutes, and then it all goes wrong.
Google's fighting back.
It's the internet. Something goes wrong with it. Don't worry, I'll just turn the bit rate down. It'll be fine. As they come through. Lap 88 of 95. Oh, come on, computer. Just let us have this end of the race, and then I can switch you off for the night, and I promise you'll be all right.
Will it be off tomorrow, or
No.
will it be used tomorrow?
No, it gets a night off tomorrow. Whole
Good.
night off, so it can relax and be a happy bunny. It doesn't need to do anything. And it's having a paddy. It's having a think about it, whether it wants to work or not, but the battle screen's working, and that's important at the moment, so we'll just...
My systems don't get a break. They're at it, so it's doing something. Every day. So, always doing something I am.
I'm going to take a very well-earned few days off, I think, as well, and just sort of take it from there. As, we'll just refresh timing 71, because it's being a pain, as we know it likes to be. Out there on the timing screens at the moment. It has to fail within the last 5 laps, doesn't it? Anyway, NBC's got something.
Over the last few weeks about how he's getting it done. He was asked, how much longer do you think he wants to go? And he said, we think joking, maybe another 14 or 15 years. Marty.
4 seconds behind is Scott McLaughlin. I asked Scott this morning for a word to describe 2023, and he said, honestly, improvement. It may not show it in all the stats, but I feel like we as a team, me as a driver, are much better this year, especially when it comes to qualifying, and that's been huge for us. He told me my whole goal coming into the race today is to finish 4th in the championship. He came in 5th. Well, guess what right now, Diff? He is 3rd in the championship. As we talked about, Scott McLaughlin would gain 2 spots in the championship standings if he can hold on here and finish 2nd.
Passes. Yeah, that's what we like to see. It's what we like to just get them all out there on the circuit, get them racing, get them running, and get them into it, as there's Devlin DiFrancesco now getting lapped by Alex Palou. So, yeah, they've had to take a few little moments to decide. As I think we've had an OBS crash, actually, which is not great news. I think we're back up now. Sorry about that. A little bit of a...
OBS behave.
Yeah, OBS, please behave. It's now showing red lights to me, but apparently it's there. Which is all good news. All good news. 5 to go.
Well, Josh's systems, only 5 to go. Let's just survive.
So we're all up and running then, as into the pit lane comes, Devlin DiFrancesco looks like he's out of it now, unfortunately. So I think that's it. Apparently there's a problem with Twitch, so I'll take a look at that. Are we still live on YouTube? Let us know if we are live there. If we are, perfect, we'll leave it running there, but we've got...
I'm on YouTube.
Oh, nice. No idea what's happened to Twitch at the moment, so sorry about that, everyone.
Let me go over to Twitch.
Just disappeared on us. 5 to go, and the systems now decide, now we'll go wrong. The least dramatic moment of the season, it decides to have a paddy on me. That's just typical, isn't it, really? It's just the way it wants to be.
Right, I just searched Twitch Josh Roberts and I've got so much different things coming up here.
Yeah, apparently something's happened, so that's great news. Oh, and Canapino's through the gravel, through at the corkscrew, and nearly hits everyone, so that was nearly a caution. Take care, guys. Do not throw it off the track. You don't need to throw it off the track. 4 to go, and it's getting chaotic. Like, really chaotic. 2 seconds.
I think Twitch is on stream.
Yeah. So 3 laps to go. Systems have now started working, which is great news. And the field just launching it in together once more. Dixon's still the leader though, Adam. And so far, so good. This is going to be a nice end to the racing season.
Yeah, sure, Josh. Scott Dixon will have 3 wins in the year. And Alex Palou can hoist championship trophy, and now everyone can start to concentrate on 2024.
As they come through, and that was Agustin Canapino running through the gravel and damaging his wing again. So Canapino's having the worst look possible out there on the track. 2 laps to go here at the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey. There's nothing but excitement, nothing but fun. This race has delivered again and again, and it's going to be Scott Dixon who's going to take the biggest surprise of all to win this last race of the season. It'll be his 3rd win of the year to come down. Gavin says, very happy down here, boys. I'm not surprised down there. What a season, what a way to end. As they come in, as timing screen now goes on that one as well. Just likes blowing on us.
Timing screens go bang there.
This is what happens when we don't have Josh T to take the load off some of the systems. Yeah. So they all just start cracking up. Dixon, though, will be coming into the last few corners now. We'll get the white flag in the air. It's not a championship season, but it'll be another win to add to the record books. It is white flag for the final time in 2023. And Scott Dixon leads them on to the last lap. Devlin Di Francesco looks like his car's given up. He's into the pit lane. But a remarkable season coming to a close. Palou will finish 3rd as the champion. We'll have that ceremony. But Scott Dixon is going to be a winner again. It could have been Grosjean, but it just didn't work out with the fuel stops. He had a late charge to the title, did Scott Dixon. At one point in this race, he was 22nd. We all thought he was out of it. He's come back as only he could. He secures 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. Chip Ganassi dominates 2023. It's Palou in the number 10, who's the champion of 2023. But it is Scott Dixon, the 6-time IndyCar champ, who has shone in the last 5 races. And here at the Grand Prix of Monterey and Laguna Seca, we'll go into the winner's break. And as a race winner, Dixon wins the season closure at Laguna Seca. 2nd for Scott McLaughlin. Eventually 7 seconds down the road, Alex Palou will finish in 3rd position ahead of Will Power in 4th. A great recovery weekend for him. And Callum Ilott is 5th. Brilliant. Lundgaard, Rossi, Armstrong across the line. O'Ward will be 9th. Ryan Hunter-Reay the top 10. But Adam, Scott Dixon wins a great, great race.
Like we said, time and time again, you can never, ever count out Scott Dixon, no matter what type of track it is.
I lost out of fuel.
And it looks, and Callum Ilott stopped on track.
He's out of fuel. He is out of fuel. I do not believe it. And is he going to get a tow from Venus VK? I'm not too sure there why they've both stopped, but it looks like they're out of fuel.
I mean, we've talked about how Scott Dixon's always lurking, and in the right moment, he can pounce. Well, he's pounced today, folks. Like Josh said, he was down as in the field as 22nd, and Scott Dixon, he was just being Scott Dixon.
What a race win for Scott Dixon. Omi, what about you? What do you make of it?
Really, really great IndyCar season. Really, really great last race as well. Great way to end it off, but unfortunately another series to say goodbye to.
Absolutely, sadly. Let's turn it over to Tom Gamemore. Hear from him.
He opted for an alternate strategy. He had 20 laps of fuel in the car when he came in for that stop midway through. I think it was around lap 40. And that was the turning point. Just under halfway through the race, they opted to move on to this strategy, and it paid off. And when Scott Dixon and Chip Ganassi, Mike Hull, the strategist there, when they opt to go on to an alternate strategy, you know they're going to make it. You know they're going to make it count. Yes, one or two things went their way. And for Alex Palou, he'll be ruining that caution between Helio Castroneves and Colton Herta. But it really has been a sensational last race here. Palou, well, he's going to get the Astor Cup. He celebrates with donuts. Scott McLaughlin and Alex Palou, the two drivers that finish off on the rostrum here for the season finale.
Let's hand it back then over to NBC as Palou does the donuts, and he is the champion.
Well, there is Alex Palou. He didn't get to lift the Astor Cup at Portland last time out. That opportunity saved for this weekend. Of course, he clinched the title a week ago, but he gets to celebrate now. And it'll be Scott Dixon in victory lane, but Alex Palou who gets the lift, the cup, for the second time in his young IndyCar career.
Check out this Advanced Auto Parts checkered flag moment, and it is the champion, Alex Palou, with some Alex Zanardi style donuts to finish off this season, and it's celebrations all round at Chip Ganassi Racing because his six-time title-winning teammate Scott Dixon is the victor again. That's 3 of the last 4 races won by the veteran. Dixon says it all. What a day to his teammate Chip Ganassi, Kevin.
I love that from Adam. He's going to the winter break. Let's head over now again. Kevin Lee.
About just extending that remarkable record-breaking streak to 19 straight seasons with a win. He finishes it with 3 out of 4, second in the championship again, and it's never easy. What are you thinking when you go to the back early with the penalty, and how did you drive to the front again?
Yeah, it was definitely, credit to this team, and I think they've been, they've just been executing like that all year. So it's been a special, group to be a part of. Obviously celebrating Alex's second championship, which is big too. Obviously he tied it up last week, but I can't thank this PNC Bank group enough. Honda, obviously, for the mileage. We had a bit of an issue this morning. We got a grid penalty, had to go to, lose 6 spots, and then got caught up in some mayhem at the start. I'll definitely say I didn't agree with the call, but I haven't seen all of it yet, but I had nowhere to go, so I don't know what they expect me to do, but we won. That's all that matters. We won.
Congratulations. Scott Dixon can now begin thinking about championship number 7 as a possibility next season, Lee.
We won. That's all that matters. A kiss and a hug from wife Emma. What a way to end the 2023 NTT IndyCar seasons with a win. And it's his teammate Alex Palou. The champagne's flowing already. He'll get the Astor Challenge Cup when we come back.
Well, I think that is Scott Dixon's 57th career win. He's now just 10 behind AJ Foyt, who has 67 career wins. Alex Palou, of course, with his second championship, has a way to go before he catches his illustrious teammate. It might be Palou's year, but Scott Dixon, 3 wins out of the last 4 races, finishing off on a high. And that gap still reasonably large by Scott Dixon's standards to his teammate Alex Palou, but it was a fantastic end or run-in for the New Zealander. And third in the championship goes to Scott McLaughlin. He'll be pleased with being best of the rest. Of course, the 2 out front, Chip Ganassi, Honda drivers, and Scotty Mack there in 3rd place. The lead Team Penske driver, the lead Chevrolet driver as well. And it was a race that kind of got away from Pato O'Ward, who was so close to being able to secure that 3rd spot. But Scotty Mack qualified well. And both the front 2, Scotty Mack and Scott Dixon, caught up in that first corner melee. And it just shows it's never over in IndyCar, with the cautions, with the added strategic nature of refueling. They both filtered from the back up to the front, and that's where they finished ahead of Alex Palou, who only stopped twice to Scott McLaughlin's 5 times he went down pit lane. Of course, Scott McLaughlin, 4 pit stops to his name.
Getting ready for post-race ceremonies then.
We've all been waiting a long time, but tonight, pleased to say, it's the debut of Sunday Night Football as Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
Just want to say congratulations to Mr. Fulton Raz, who says, hello everyone, big news today. We won both of our games, and we are called the Hamilton Country Rocket and Rookies. Won both games today, and our state champion gold medal winners in the Special Olympics. Fantastic news. Congratulations to you. And celebrate like it's look, well, it is a championship, so celebrate. Go get out there. That is fantastic. Well done to you. We'll hand back over to NBC.
Yeah, congratulations.
Absolutely. Well done. Brilliant news.
With his stop, and had multiple penalties in this race, pre-race and during, and went down pit lane about 15 times. I'm exaggerating, but he did everything he needed to do, leading 20 laps and winning for the 3rd time in the last 4 races to seal this championship with authority. And it's his teammate who's celebrating the title victory, and Marty Snyder is standing by on the presentation stage. Marty?
Well, Diff, let's get things kicked off here at the championship stage. Let's present the Manufacturers Championship Trophy. First, let's bring up the president of IndyCar, Mr. Jay Fry, and also from Chevrolet, the U.S. Vice President of Motorsports and Performance for Chevrolet, Mr. Jim Campbell. Come on up, guys.
This is the trophy moment.
Congratulations, everyone. What a terrific year it was for Chevrolet. We'll let them pose for a photo. 6 wins this year, including the Indianapolis 500 for Chevrolet with Joseph Newgarden. Congratulations, everyone. All right, time to celebrate the championship team. Let's welcome up to the stage the owner of Chip Ganassi Racing, Mr. Chip Ganassi. I think Mike Hull is busy in victory lane with his driver, Scott Dixon. Chip, we'll have you stand on that side. And now for the man of the hour, let's welcome to the stage the now 2-time NTT IndyCar Series champion, Alex Palou.
Alex Palou is the 2023 IndyCar
what a
champion.
Year for the 10 team, 5 wins, including 3 in a row at 1 point. What's the emotion, Alex, of winning the second championship compared to the first one, especially with all the stuff you guys dealt with this year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been an amazing year. 5 wins, 10 podiums. And today was going to be a really good race as well. The yellows didn't help us, but it was a fun race. Everybody at Chip Ganassi Racing did an awesome job giving us the cars we needed. And, yeah, super happy to get our second championship together.
Are you ready for some hardware? You've taken the Astra Cup before. So let's bring up to the championship stage Bailey Long from Johnston's. It'll be the second championship ring for Alex Palou. That's something you can show off as a team cheers right here with that championship ring. And now for the presentation of the Astor Cup for the 2023 champion, let's bring up David Croxville, the CFO for NTT Data Corp, and also Mark Miles, President and CEO of Penske Entertainment Group. Mark, I'll let you do the honors.
All right, thanks very much. First to Chip and the team making history, winning the championship, coming in second in the championship, and Rookie of the Year has never been done in IndyCar, so congratulations on a phenomenal accomplishment. And then to this guy, on behalf of all your fellow competitors, all of our sponsors, especially NTT, and all of our fans, you also made history. First time in 16 years that somebody clinched the championship before even getting to the finale. So really a phenomenal run. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll see if, David, you want to help me hand this over?
And this is the moment, everybody. We'll come up to the main conference cam. Alex Palou is crowned the 2023 IndyCar champion!
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2023 NTT IndyCar Series champion, Alex Palou, now a two-time title winner.
You will never see anything like that performed again, Adam. Absolutely perfect. He's crowned the champion, and boy, oh boy, did he have to work for it.
Yeah, he sure did, Josh, but what a season that we've had here in the NTT IndyCar Series. We saw Joseph Newgarden win the Indy 500. We saw Alex Palou win 5 races. Scott Dixon won 3 of the last 4 races. Chip Ganassi Racing 1 and 2 in the championship. What can you say about that team that hasn't already been said? Well, I said it once and I'll say it again. Next year, Alex Palou is going to have a huge target on his back because there'll be drivers and teams going after Chip Ganassi. But it's going to be hard to stop Alex Palou. Can he make it 3? Well, season will be here before we know it, friends.
Only a few months to wait, Omi, but he's crowned champion officially here. What's been your thoughts on this season, especially from watching with Palou coming into it all again?
Yeah, Palou has been absolutely phenomenal. Really, really a great season. It has been. So much action has come our way. So I really have enjoyed it. And also, big thank you for getting me into all of these other series.
Pleasure.
Basically, almost every other series other than F1, F2, and F3. Other than that, you've kind of got me into every other series.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure to have you on the team, Omi, as well, and Adam as well here permanently. I think we're going to wrap up everything. I don't know if we're outside our TV broadcast yet. I want to get a word with Tom Gaymore just quickly. It looks like they're wrapping up with the green flags hanging up because we're at the end of our TV time as well, because it's all gone over with the late cautions. So we'll wrap up this amazing championship in just a few seconds' time. We'll come back up to the cameras in a moment, but I just want to say a great moment. So I'm going to ask Omi first. Can I have your moment of the season in 2023, please?
That is really, really going to be a hard one. But I have to say the Indy 500, just in general, that was just absolutely incredible. All of us dressing up, and that was just absolutely phenomenal. I really did enjoy it.
I did. That was so much fun, dressing up with everything as well. Adam, what about you? What's been your moment of the season?
It's got to be Alex Palou winning 5 races this year, and him and Scott Dixon finishing 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. Alex and Chip Ganassi Racing as a whole. You want to be the best? You have to beat the best, and nobody could take down Chip Ganassi Racing in 2023. So Alex Palou winning 5 races was simply incredible.
Got a few more trophies to do, so let's hand over to Tom Gaymore.
Of the year. Well, it's been a real joy and a privilege and a pleasure to bring IndyCar to you this year. The Sky IndyCar community continues to grow here in the UK, and wherever you're watching, it's a very welcoming and inclusive community. You all play along, get in touch on Twitter, and I thank you for that. You can continue to watch all of the celebrations now. Continue all of the driver reactions as well as NBC switch to their Peacock coverage. It will be the last filler for me. It's been a wonderful season. As I said, I can't believe it's the last race of the year. We're only in September, and with all the action that we've seen today, it's going to be a long wait until March. But until then, enjoy the rest of the coverage tonight.
Thank you, Tom Gaymore, for all your hard work this season. Let's go back to NBC.
For a little bit of post-race coverage of the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey. Bill Patterson finishing off the champion and race winner, painting, as he does so well, letting his creative skills show, be on display for everybody. And look, Barry Wanzer, the head of racing competition from Chip Ganassi Racing, couldn't be here, but his cardboard cutout has been. He's still dealing with his fight with cancer at home, curable cancer, and Barry is on the comeback trail. Barry, we know that you're with us, mate, in spirit. You're with the team, and you're champions again. You've done it again. It's the first time, I guess, you've done it from your couch at home, but you're a champion, and along with your team, along with your number 10 team, as Alex Palou continues the champion celebrations. And we continue our post-race coverage with Dylan Welsh. Dylan?
Yeah, and Diff, we got a couple of the Team Penske boys down here who are rehashing an eventful day, to say the least. So we'll start with Scott McLaughlin, who finishes second. Let's see, you were off in the dirt on turn one. You had an avoidable contact drive-through penalty. You said you think you hit about everybody. How did you finish second?
It was just like a lot of concertina stuff and stuff that I could avoid, couldn't avoid, and yeah, it was crazy. But so proud of everyone at XPEL Chevy. That was peak IndyCar right there. It's just, you think your day's done, you get a drive through, you come back. But I had a mega restart with like the second last restart or something. I passed like 6 or 7 cars to get behind Dixon there, and yeah, super proud. And third in the championship, that's an absolute bonus.
Yeah, we talked about that at the start of the day. It was probably an unconventional way to get there, but what's the significance of that to you, to ultimately be third and the highest Chevy driver?
Yeah, ultimately, yeah, the top Chevy. You know, Chip Ganassi Racing, Alex and Scott have been really class their own this year, and congrats to them. But you know, it's just nice to be, you know, I guess the best of the rest there, and we'll keep working with Team Chevy and Team Penske, but to be the best team home and in the Chevy ranks, and then from a driving perspective against the 2 legends that I have as teammates, I'm really proud of that. A lot of work to do, but I said to the guys today, you know, 2024 started today, and we're really proud of that effort.
They're off to a great start if that's the case. Scott McLaughlin finishes second. Let's grab Will Power, who finishes in the 4th spot today. So you've been around IndyCar racing a long time. Have you ever seen a day quite as eventful as this one was?
Actually, they used to be a lot like this about a decade ago. You used to have a lot of yellows and mixed up strategy and crazy restarts. So that was like a textbook old school IndyCar race. Yeah, man, those are the days. Just hang in there. You get a drive-through penalty, you have to be put to the back. Yeah, just one of those days. I think the few days leading up to it, we kind of thought that this would be the case, because it just was very easy to make a mistake and go off, and sort of an inviting track to throw it up the inside. So pretty happy to get back to 4th. Tough year, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the win streak kind of comes to a close for you this year without the win. But big picture, I mean, how would you evaluate your year? I know it was tough, you know, on and off the racetrack, but how would you evaluate it?
Yeah, just not a good year, man. Not good enough. You know, on my personal side, it was bad at the start of the year. Obviously, had a lot going on there with my wife getting real sick, but. Yeah, at the end of the day, she's healthy, and I'm here, and I'm racing, and you know, everything she went through, you don't really care about the rest. But we'll be back next year, fighting hard.
Good perspective from Will Power. He ends the year 4th today. Kevin?
Dylan, let's talk to the Rookie of the Year. Marcus Armstrong did it despite missing 5 races. He didn't compete in the ovals. He will next year. Congratulations. What's the significance to you?
Thanks a lot, Kevin. It's been a wild ride. Today was so up and down. I thought I was going to win at one point. I thought I was going to finish last at one point. And then I settled on P8. But yeah, you're right, Rookie of the Year. Having not done 5 races, I'm over the moon. It was touch and go at one point today. But yeah, to lock it up, I'm very pleased. And I have to say, big thank you to my team, Chip Ganassi Racing, and everyone, Blair and Eric and everyone else. I can't name everyone, but it's been an exceptional couple of races, and surely there's a lot of work to do, but I'm very pleased.
And now you get to go oval racing, and you'll be in an oval for the first time this week. What are you thinking about that?
Oval racing, yeah. Oh, it's fast. So I don't know. I'm going to have to really do my homework tonight, tomorrow night, and so on. But I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be something new for me, and I've got the best guys in the world to teach me about it. So looking forward to it.
Congratulations on a job well done. Marcus Armstrong for Chip Ganassi Racing, full-time next year. He is the top rookie, comes home with an 8th place finish today. And Callum Ilott matches his career best with a 5th in all kinds of different scenarios. You started near the back, you went even further back. How did you get back to the front?
I don't know, really. Yeah, we had contact in turn 2. I think everyone who was on the outside lane just concertinaed up, and I was involved in that. Managed to get through it, got the front wing. I ended up spun around, I think by power in the last corner. I was then spun around in the pits. I was off the track in 10. I had contact in turn 2, which bent my rear. Yeah, and I did about 6 or 7 pit stops. So somehow I'm in the top 5. We had good pace. It's just that last stint I was struggling with a bit of damage. It was a fight to keep it, and then suddenly I was running out of fuel, so then I was fighting the fuel as well. We did a great job to pull it off. The strategy worked out in our way, even with all the crazy stuff going on. Lots of people crashing into each other, damaged cars, sand everywhere. It's IndyCar.
Congratulations. Right in the back of the shot here, we've got an opportunity to talk to Brad Hollinger. Since you're here, I'm going to just kind of jump in on you here. Tell me about where you think this program is at. Big picture for Juncos Hollinger Racing in year number 2 with this program. How do you feel about, all things considered, the season went, and what's next?
Well, I think the season was up and down a bit, and then we're on the pickup now, so it was a learning experience for us, but I think we made great strides and, great way to end the year.
It's great to have you in IndyCar. Thank you. Just wanted to say hello. Congratulations to Callum Ilott and a good finish to the season. Now to Marty Snyder.
Yeah, their day might be topped by Chip Ganassi's day. And, it's not easy being an owner, is it, Chip? Are these the days that make it worth it when you win and claim a title?
They really are, Marty. I mean, to be first, second in the points, and then Rookie of the Year, Marcus Armstrong. I mean, Alex, Dixon, what a season it's been for the whole team. My hat's off to everybody on the team.
As the confetti goes off for the podium guys, I want to ask you about the driver that won the race first. I mean, how does he continue to find magic, Scott Dixon?
Well, I was somebody was saying on the timing stand before the finish, said, I'm about to go back and look at the rerun of this thing and figure out how we got to the front. So I don't know myself, to tell you the truth. I mean, a lot of yellows obviously today, and wasn't a pretty race, but it got awful pretty at the end there.
So you stood in this victory lane last year and pointed at Alex Palou and said, I don't think he's totally gone. He is with you moving forward. What impressed you most about him this year?
Yeah, well, just the fact that, he was so much going on inside the young man's head, and he still kept the focus that's a sign of a true professional. Yeah. The focus he had in winning the races.
And we can confirm he's in the 10 car for the foreseeable future?
Certainly, yes.
There you go, Chip Ganassi. A happy day here. And conveniently, Diff, I want to show you victory lane, like where the podium is, that's like 10 feet from where the championship stage is. So Chip can kind of bounce back and forth when Palou comes back over to take more pictures with the Astor Cup. It's an easy walk. It's about 5 feet.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. To wrap up the season then. Final thoughts then from our team here at JB Motorsports, who's been joining us as we see Dixon crown a race winner, McLaughlin second, and Alex Palou in third. Omi, final thoughts from you on the weekend we've had here for the race and quality. It was another great one.
Yep, absolutely. Another great one. A great season. It's just been absolutely incredible. Really, really great, the race we had today. A lot of cautions really did keep us entertained all throughout. So it's been a great IndyCar season. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
And can't wait for next year.
Adam, what about you? Weekend and also being as well IndyCar expert. It's been chaotic again.
Yes, Josh, it sure has been. I mean, it was a crazy race. But Scott Dixon won his third win of the year. Alex Palou, series champion. Marcus Armstrong, Rookie of the Year. all I can say is I have enjoyed being with you this year, covering the NTT IndyCar Series. Looking forward to 2024 and beyond. So, like I said in the beginning, thank you to all of you viewers, all you listeners, wherever you have been watching this year. We have enjoyed bringing you the coverage of the NTT IndyCar Series. We'll be back in 2024. Do this all over again.
We certainly will. Let's confirm to you how they finished in this race then. Scott Dixon from Scott McLaughlin takes it a Kiwi 1-2. Not too bad at all. And then we take it with Alex Palou in third position. Just going to turn off the TV pictures a second so we can get a coming in as well for the points as they run to get that sorted for you. Alex Palou third. Will Power is in fourth place with Callum Ilott in fifth. Sixth place on the board, that comes to Christian Lundgaard as well. Seventh for Alexander Rossi, a great race result from him out there today. Eighth for Marcus Armstrong, ninth Pato O'Ward, and 10th for Ryan Hunter-Reay. It's champagne time on the board. Just what we wanted to see, just what the doctor ordered as well in 2023. Another great season, and in the California heat, you're definitely going to need it. In terms of points as they run and points how they finish this season, it is Alex Palou who takes the championship, 356 points to Scott Dixon on 578. Scott McLaughlin rounds out third on 488 for Cliff Pato O'Ward, and Joseph Newgarden on 479. Well, my thanks to Adam, and my thanks as well, let's just say goodbye to him quickly. My thanks to Adam, who's there in the box. My thanks to Omi as well for all your coverage this season, guys. And Adam, my thanks to you as well for being with me in the box for this one. My thanks to all of the JB Motorsports team who have brought us this incredible 2023 IndyCar season. What started all the way back at St. Petersburg went over as well with another classic opener, craziness, cars everywhere, into the wall. The second round took us to Texas and a nail-biter oval that was the best of the season. Long Beach at round 3, a slow burner, but got into it. Then we went as well, round 4 of the season at Barber. Wheel-to-wheel action, non-stop power, not being the top dog, it went to McLaughlin. The Indy GP, the start of the month of May, another crazy opening race as well. That went Palou's way. The Indy 500, one of the best we've seen in so long, so much drama, and Joseph Newgarden taking the race win. Then we went over round 7 of the season, went away to a new circuit in Detroit as well, half a hybrid of the old and new. Road America gave us Palou once again taking victories that started it, over to Mid-Ohio, to Toronto in round 10 as well, another great one. The 11th round of the season, well, that took us to Iowa, race 1. Newgarden swept the weekend in race 2 as well, passing everybody. Round 13 took us to Nashville. Once again, it provided to be crazy, and it got us a new different winner as well. 14th round, the second time in Indy on the GP, and then Bob Morano into the wall. Portland was Palou's championship day, and round 17 here at Laguna Seca just wrapped up an incredible title year, and Scott Dixon winning for a third time at the track, but Alex Palou is the champion. My thanks to the entire JB Motorsports team. My thanks to you at home. Alex Palou is the 2023 IndyCar champion. We will see you for more action in 2024. Thank you very much for your company. Goodbye.